is called to order at 6:08 p.m. Anybody up here want to do the invocation? Who would like to volunteer? Pastor Greg? Yeah, there he is. We'll do it. And our Mayor Pro Tem will be doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, if you would bow your heads. Heavenly Father, you are the glorious God of heaven. You're the creator of all of us, and we are so grateful for our lives. We're thankful for the city that we're in, Father. We're gathering together here and praying that there would be good things for the city. Thank you for all of these people who are here, who were elected. Father, we ask a special blessing on their work together and their lives. We pray for also the city attorney and the city manager and the police department, the police chief, and all those people who make the city run so well. We're really grateful for the quietness and the calmness we have in our city. It comes because you're the God of government, and it's your design that we do things orderly and decently. So I do pray today that you be honored in this, in the decisions being made, and the discussions being addressed. And I do ask these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right, guys, thank you all for being here. You could do that.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Do we have any veterans? Please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you for your service.
Awesome.
Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. All right, guys, the roll call, please.
Councilmember Johnson. Present. Councilmember Montero.
Present.
Councilmember Reyes English. Mayor Pro Tem Manning.
Here.
And Mayor Vargas.
Here. Thank you, ma'am. So we established the rules of decorum. We talked about it again, and we no need to repeat what those details were. We just know that it's how we conduct ourselves amongst each other, towards the residents, and towards staff as well. So it's very comprehensive. So we already established that. What I do want to highlight, though, is that if you're going to be making presentations, we have a 10-minute rule. If you're presenting to the city council, the oral communications is limited at 3 minutes. And for us up here, that we just be conscious about the directives we give to our staff. If it's something that we can handle offline apart from the meeting, let's do so. And if we could keep our reports and our comments as succinct as possible, just so we can have an efficient, pretty efficient meeting, okay? Thank you, guys. First item tonight is a presentation. Councilmember Montero, you have item 1. Are you ready for that? Or you want to do the second one?
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think we'll do the presentation from the Sergeant Jerome from the police department because I don't see no ones that we want to honor from the Black History Month that we did on the 28th. I don't see none of the candidates over here. So we'll go with the presentation from the police department, Sergeant Jerome. What, Sergeant? Oh, we don't have the chief today, huh?
Good evening, everybody.
No.
So I want to start this presentation off tonight with a thank you to the Mayor Pro Tem, the fellow elected officials, Councilman Montero in particular, the City Manager, Mr. Von Norris, the City Attorney, Captain's Port, Captain's Lane, and the Chief of Police, Gary Tomatani. So as you can see, we're proposing a Hawthorne Special Needs Awareness Program. Similar programs exist in other cities and in other states throughout the country, and they exist in order to make more positive interactions between public servants and the community. When you consider that nationally the special needs population is around 15%, city employees are likely to encounter individuals with conditions like those listed on the slide. These conditions can range from emotional disorders and physical limitations to mental health conditions and developmental disabilities. What we are proposing is a simple sticker to serve as an indication that can aid our employees by providing some context on the resident that they might encounter when they visit their homes. An example of this could be code enforcement going to investigate some violations, and when they knock on the door, they receive no response, yet see somebody in the residence staring intently at a television screen. The clue there from the sticker could be that the person is hearing impaired and that they have that disability. Another example could be that police officers go to a residence, they knock on the door repeatedly, which is eventually answered by the resident. When the resident contacts the police, he or she just stares at them and has no further acknowledgement. The clue, if the sticker is on the door to the officers, is that this person could be suffering from some developmental disability that could be limiting their ability to communicate effectively. In short, we think this sticker could get our employees to ask, maybe there's a reason why. So as we all know, growth requires awareness, and we think that this sticker provides just that. It is intended to act as a prompt to our employees to facilitate more empathetic and meaningful interactions with the community. This prompt represents a forward-thinking approach to city services offered to assist vulnerable residents in order to increase community well-being in general. I want to close by saying this. As a person who's very connected to the special needs community, I appreciate and understand the role this program can play on a personal and professional level. I thank you for your time and consideration, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
To the chair.
Yes, go ahead. There we go.
I'm so excited about this. Thank you all so much for bringing this up. I think this is a wonderful plan. I have two questions for you. One is, what is the process to actually obtain the sticker? And then how will you guys do outreach to the community to find out who actually need the sticker?
That's a great question, ma'am. So I'll cover the outreach first. So the outreach is going to look like this. Our Community Affairs Bureau is going to be the entity responsible for the registration and the outreach. The plan right now is for Community Affairs to be at the Earth Day event on April 12th to do that as kind of a test run. On April 26th, Sergeant Nichols will be attending the Autism Walk, and he'll be doing registrations there. So the process for registration is simply this. Everything is voluntary. There's nothing coerced with any of this. If a Hawthorne resident wants a sticker, they fill out a form, answer some questions, which include some information on how we can better serve them. And then they give the application to Sergeant Nichols at these outreach events or online. Kiwana Bowie from Community Services created a form. They can do it online and pick their sticker up.
Okay. I'm going to be a little bit of devil's advocate right here. So one of the concerns that I am concerned about is that I know that we have to focus on HIPAA, but at the same time, how can we make sure that the people that are actually applying really do deserve the sticker and it's not somebody just getting the sticker just because?
Well, I don't think there's a way for us in that context to absolutely verify whatever condition it is that they're telling us about.
Okay.
It's basically, we're taking their word for it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for presenting this. This is really important. I think we're kind of just skirting around the issue. Not. I would like to be a little bit more direct. This helps protect people, you know, who sometimes we might be trying to get their attention maybe when we're enforcing the law, or reaching out for whatever reason to communicate with them. I mean, through your department, for staff, if we go out there. And sometimes we think, hey, this person's not paying attention, or they're ignoring our instructions, or they're ignoring, you know, what we're asking them. And so having this is, I think, very, very awesome. I think it's very, very important so that we know and understand, are prepared, and whatever training you have within your department to deal with these types of situations, I think goes hand in hand with having this right there on the window, right? Before you go inside, or you will knock on the door, or where would you have this?
Yeah, the placement is up to the resident, but we generally kind of envision it like it's depicted on the slide, like on a window or on the door, Mr. Mayor.
Am I far off with what I'm saying, or kind of those are
Not at all, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
To the chair. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I love the fact that this is what you would reference community policing, right? Because not only are we in the community with your trailer trying to meet people and have people, engage with the police, not to be afraid of the police, and we've come a long way with regards to that, and I love that because other communities have senior lead officers, which are SLOs that are in the communities engaging with people, and it's great to know that that's what we're doing. However, this is another component of that. You're engaging with the special need community, and that's what I consider great community policing, because you're offering another tool to people with special needs. And I like you, a sister of a Down syndrome brother, I get it. And in those situations, and I could just reflect back when my brother was in trouble with the police, and he had no reason to be in trouble with the police because he didn't know what was going on, right? So that's something similar, right? You want to be able to say, identify this home, this residence, maybe this business. I don't know how far you want to go, because there's now special needs kids that are in a working community. I think all of that is important. I love the fact that the initiating from the community side, families that maybe have had similar calls in the past that want to avoid something that occurred, right?
Yep.
So that's a great tool. That's a great idea. I love the fact that we're doing this today, and we're just thinking fast forward all the time on what other tools, what other ideas can we do with community and police, because that's very important for me, versus getting calls from constituents, always, wanting to talk badly about our police. We support our police 100% here in Hawthorne, and we always have supported the police. So again, it's up to the resident to outreach and get a form to complete and assure that they have the decal on a window, at a door, or potential place of business. So I just love the idea, and I like the fact that Councilmember Montero has worked to bring this. And however we could help. I don't know how if maybe we need funding, because somewhere the stickers need to be made, right? We don't know how many. So if you could talk a little bit of that, Matt, maybe?
Sure. So the math on this, so the initial productions that I got cost about $50 for 20 stickers. The more that you create, the more, or the less that it's going to cost. So we're looking at about, the vendor told me about $1.25 a sticker if we order around 500 to start. So that's relatively inexpensive to, create this awareness and potentially a more empathetic response from our employees.
Maybe add this to the community trailer, where forms can be retrieved and
Yes.
the community trailer that goes out?
Yes, ma'am. That's going to happen on April 26th for sure at
Okay.
the Autism Walk.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
To the chair. Thank you. I'm all for Hawthorne first, and by that I don't mean that we put Hawthorne first all the time, but it not just that. It also means we're number one. And I 100% believe that our police department is number one in the area. I have seen it firsthand in dealing on the Veterans Affairs Commission. the times that I've been involved in helping you guys take in veterans and the way that you guys go out of your way to make sure that you're not putting them in harm's way. You're not in harm's way with the drones and everything that you guys have. I mean, you go out of your way to try to de-escalate and make sure everyone is safe. And I can't say that about the rest of the, rest of the surrounding area, that's what they do. So I'm very proud of what you guys do. I appreciate what you do. And I am back the blue all day, every day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Sergeant Jerome. And actually, I have to give credit to Sergeant Jerome because he is the one who pitched the idea to me and the committee that is planning the autism walk. So I have to say thank you and took my hat to you to bring this up to my attention. And then, of course, I talked to the chief and the city manager. I said, this is something that we want to do citywide, right? So it's not just the Hawthorne PD, but we're talking about if the housing department went to do an inspection or the code enforcement wants to go somewhere. So they have this opportunity, if they identify there is a special need child or adult living in that residence, so they can give them an application, or even now put it online that people can go and fill up the application and bring it to us. So I think this is an innovative idea that it didn't come from Hawthorne because we know that the city of Carhay, right, has it already. But I think it is a good program because we know in the past there has been some conflicts between the special needs children and adults and the public safety. So we wanted to avoid those kind of encounters. So we want to make sure that everybody is safe and protected. Not just the residents, but the officers itself, right? Because sometimes an autism child or somebody, they don't like to be tortured. They don't like to be hear the loud screaming. So they have to identify that. So to me, this is a great day for Hawthorne, and we're going to launch this on the 12th at the Providers Fair, and then the Autism Walk, and then we go on and on and on. But again, I have to say thank you to you for all what you have done for special needs children around the area and also where you live. So thank you for you being involved in the community, and we look forward for this partnership to grow. And like I said, this is a city event. It's not just Hawthorne PD, but it's a citywide initiative that we're gonna do it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
One last thank you. I want to thank Kawana Bowie. She did all the heavy lifting, her and her crew over at the Memorial Center. She put together the presentation and did a lot of the legwork, so thank you.
Thank you, Kawana.
Thank you, Kawana.
And Kawana is a part of the committee that do Autism Walk, so she's my chairman. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Reyes English, please proceed with item 3.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to say just about a week ago, had an opportunity to visit the South Bay Workforce Investment Board with Executive Director Jan Vogel and staff that provided council members here on the dais and Vaughn and some other community leaders from various cities, just a snapshot of all the great services that they're providing for those that are looking for work, that are looking for apprentice work, that are looking for trainings in various fields. And I was just very impressed. And I had asked Mr. Vogel if he could take some time to come to the City Council and speak on that. And so today, he's here with us. And I thank you so much for coming and doing a presentation for us so that the community at large on Channel 22 can see all the great work. And if you're looking for work, you need to come to South Bay Workforce Investment Board. Mr. Vogel, thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. It was so nice to be able to do that orientation a week or two ago, especially to the new council people who weren't familiar with the South Bay Workforce Investment Board to learn about it. And if you probably all received a copy of our annual report. And if you did, I hope you go through it carefully because there's so much stuff in here to look at, and it gives you a good overview as to what we're all about. A couple of the new programs I just wanted to mention. because I heard about the special needs program. As you may or may not know, a couple years ago, we started a program for special needs individuals to get work experience at the Los Angeles World Airport. And what they are doing, they're going to be, and they are, ambassadors. So instead of going to the airport and getting somebody who's mad at you for parking in the wrong place, you get a friendly face, you get a smile, and you get somebody to help you at the airport. And this is a pilot program. Many of the people have been hired already. And what we're hoping to is expand this program so that it will work for the Olympics in 2028. And we'll have a lot of ambassadors, a lot of special needs people that would be doing that. So that's kind of a nice program, and it fits in with what the sergeant was talking about. A couple other programs, we had people stand up before, because the councilwoman asked about the vets to stand up, the veterans. As you may or may not know, we are on site at the LA Air Force Base a couple days a week to help the separating veterans, their spouses, or if they have teenage kids, to help teenage kids get a job or go into training. So we're actually there. I don't know any other workforce board that does that. So I thought that might be interesting to you. And Councilwoman English mentioned apprenticeships. We've had probably over 7,000 apprentices over the last few years, which is more apprentices than any board in the state. So we really prioritize apprenticeships for your businesses. Your businesses, no matter what business it is, they can benefit by an apprentice. They'll get a better retention rate, and it'll help the employees, and we'll be willing to help all of them. But what, I also have, so recently, this is real recently, people that were separating from the prison. And we had a group of 10 individuals that worked on cleaning up the wildfire area. And now they are about to enter the union. They're making, I believe it's $46 an hour, over $70 if you add the benefits, and they're doing a community a lot of good by helping to clean up the wildfire areas. So we're doing lots of different things that I wanted to share with you. But city manager asked us to talk a little bit about the unhoused program that the city of Hawthorne was kind enough to call us to get involved with, and you were smart enough to come up with this program because it worked very well. And we had a number of unhoused individuals referred to us from your housing department. Miss Madrina, I think it was our contact person and worked with Myrna on our staff. And she referred people that were from Hawthorne. And I'll give you a couple numbers on this. 15 individuals actually went through the program. A few more than 15 were referred to us, but some just didn't follow through. But of those 15, 9 participated in work experience and helped the city by working at various departments, recreation, parks and recreation, maybe some other ones. 3 participated in short-term vocational training. And over half were placed into unsubsidized employment and are still working today. So, and over half received permanent housing, are in permanent housing now.
How many?
I think it's 8, over
Nice.
half the participants. So, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good record for individuals that particularly were in need. Alma Lopez is here from my one stop in Inglewood, which serves Inglewood, Hawthorne, Lawndale, and El Segundo. And she worked with Myrna on our staff, working with these individuals, and has a story on one individual which is indicative of all the people that went through the program. So, Alma, you want to share that? Okay.
Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to share a story of an individual that we helped that was referred to us by Dulce, and this was back in May of 2023. This individual, at the time that we got that referral, was facing a lot of challenges. One of the challenges was she had lost custody of her children. She had lost her income. She was in public assistance, lost her income. And with no income, shortly thereafter had lost her housing. So that's how she ended up getting assistance. So through the program, under the On-House Grant program, we were able to do a pay work experience for this individual. While she was really working hard in regaining custody of her children, she had to go through several courts, show the court that she was able to provide for her children. She did attend court-mandated parenting and counseling classes. She was also awarded a Section 8 housing voucher and was able to secure a 3-bedroom apartment for her and her children. We were able to help her secure employment as well in the healthcare industry. And in November of 2024, she also regained full custody of her children. So again, this is someone who faced a lot of hardships, but through the program, she has done everything that she can do to get herself back together and gain custody of her children. Thank you.
That's a great story. Yes.
Anyway, thank you very much for allowing us to participate in that program. And as most of you know, I love the city of Hawthorne, so we do anything to help the city. And I thank every one of you for your support.
To the chair.
Yes.
I was going to say, just real quick, before you leave.
Wait.
Yeah. Just a little, bug in your ear. The city of Hawthorne needs IT techs.
Okay?
So keep that in,
We'll get you
some good IT guys.
Okay.
I want to steal yours, but
No, get it that
Okay.
one.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for your presentation, and thank you so much for all you do. I know that you help me tremendously. I am always pulling from your folks all the time with all the projects that I do. And so thank you so much for providing them every single year I've been here. They've worked on our, what is that? I can't think of it, but Mother's Day. Oh, Hawthorne Business Expo.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm gonna say.
the Hawthorne Business Expo. So I really, truly, truly appreciate it because it is definitely a lot of work, and your folks make it so that it's not as much work as it could be. So I truly appreciate you, Jan, even though you put me on the spot.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Mr. Jan Vogel, thank you for coming tonight. We go a long way, like almost 26 years. And I have to say, your program has been a blessing for South Bay and all the cities that you serve. And you always has been #1 workforce investment board in California, and even national recognized. So even I have to say, thank you, because in the past I was not sitting in this dais. I was just executive director too for nonprofit, and I received some of those apprenticeship individual, right?
Yeah.
To do case manage, even to do teaching assistant at the preschool. So your program have demonstrated over and over again that is very successful. And I was so glad to hear about our unhoused individual, because that's
Yes.
that's the most ultimate goal, is to give them tools to become successful, to become self-sufficient, that they will regain their dignity that they have lost. And to see even like 8 people, it's a lot, because it is sometimes, even one, if we can take one individual out of the street into housing, that is a successful story. But putting 8 so far and getting them to work, that is a beautiful thing. That's the beautiful thing, because, salary and work is the one who's going to pay your bills, pay your house, pay your rent, put food on the table. So, and again, thank you for your leadership, especially for the special needs individual. Work at the LAX, be the ambassador. That's a great thing, because those kids, they deserve a chance, right? And to put them as ambassador is a wonderful, wonderful idea. So, and I have to say again, my hat goes off to you, because you demonstrate all this year that South Bay is like almost 50 years now.
Well over 40.
40, yeah. I know you're getting there. So,
I'm getting
so,
there, yeah.
Yeah, we'll celebrate that. So
Okay,
thank you for
thank
all the
you.
accomplishment. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
To the chair.
Yes.
I wanted to say thank you for your orientation that you did for us the other day. It was very eye-opening. It was nice to meet the staff and to meet you because I'd never met you. And I also want to thank you for what you do for the veterans because so often, you know, I work for the VA and I'm a veteran and I run across so many veterans who are lost when they get out of the military. They don't know what to do. They're used to having 3 hots and a cot and a place to live, and they never had to worry about their paycheck. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I got to pay a light bill, I got to pay rent, I got to do this and that. And so it's a big transition. And a lot of times, unfortunately, our skills that we learn in the military aren't transferable. So all the help that you give to the veterans, I appreciate that because let us not forget 22 veterans a day kill themselves.
Yeah,
So,
terrible.
so thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, everybody.
I just wanted to give kudos to our mayor. I don't know if you all remember, the mayor had made the suggestion to get with South Bay WIB and try and find jobs for our homeless. So I just wanted to give him his props too. Thank you.
You know what? Thank you for bringing that up. And I remember I was watching TV. I don't know however many years ago before this started, and I heard about this like a mayor in another city in the Midwest. You know, in the Midwest they can get away with a lot of stuff. You know, they can come up with some radical ideas and put them into effect. Say, oh man, how would this? They were getting people to help out the people clean the landscaping, to do some work out on the public on the roads, fixing the roads, and a lot of things. And I'm saying, oh man, we could bring this over here to the city of Hawthorne. And but what I didn't expect is after the meeting that I had brought it up, that I received opposition from homeless advocates. Homeless advocates.
Really?
I guess they rather have the homeless so that whatever their, groups, offerings are, there's still the need for it. So or whatever. It was kind of brash, really, really kind of ugly, kind of the type of stuff I think. Like, how dare you do that? How dare you do that? And it's like, I
Can't
didn't
please everybody, right?
I didn't expect it, but obviously I really appreciate it because there's something that says that I don't know who said it, but the best social service is a job, right?
Right.
The best welfare offering is a job. Imagine.
Right.
And like everybody's been saying, it's like people. I know that when I'm not at work and just not working because I have a vacation, I start getting really sad and depressed. But what if it was a long term where I don't have a job, I can't pay my bills, and I'm out on the street? You can only imagine what some of these individuals go through. So I'm glad that the council supported this idea, the city manager, staff, and your team at the South Bay WIB were able to put this together. Man, that's 9 people, 8 people.
Yeah, over half the people. I mean, that's pretty
Jesus.
good.
This
for
is
that
awesome.
population.
And I'm pretty sure other cities will be looking at us to be as an example. So thank you, Jan, and your team and everybody involved.
bet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
And thank you, Alma, for the story.
Thank you for bringing it up, Councilwoman Reyes English. So let's see, where are we at? We have another presentation. God. We have a presentation over there somewhere. Little baby or something. The Good Neighbor Award presentation, Erica Lampkin, please. No vino la gente.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, and remaining council members. I'm Erica Lampkin, your HR director, and tonight I'm going to present to you the Good Neighbor Award recipient. His name is Paulo Sala. Would you please stand, please? Paulo has been a dedicated and integral part of our team as a jailer since September 1999, making him one of our most senior employees. Throughout his tenure, Paulo has consistently demonstrated a strong work ethic and a deep commitment to his role. He has trained numerous new jailers, shared his expertise and experience to ensure a smooth transition and a high level of performance. His dependability and reliability have been invaluable to our organization, and his expertise and experience in the jail are unparalleled. Paulo's exceptional service and dedication make him an outstanding candidate for the Good Neighbor Award. His positive contributions to our community, both on and off the job, have not gone unnoticed. It is recommended and believed that he would be a well-deserved recipient of this honor. His dedication and expertise and commitment to the community make him an asset to our city, and it is confident that he will continue to make a positive impact for years to come. Let's give Paulo a round of applause. Congratulations, Paulo. You actually won. Go take a picture, council members.
Eric, 1 second.
To the chair real quick.
Yes, miss.
Thank you. I just want to, on behalf of myself and the council members, Pablo Sala, our jailer, kudos to you, sir. Thank you so much for your service and your dedication to Hawthorne. You're truly to be commended. Thank you.
And I want to thank you also because the jail, I don't know if people know that there's a lot of other cities that have a police force and they don't have their own jail. They kind of use ours. And so we get a lot of heavy duty people that go through there. So, we have to have a well-trained staff, and this gentleman is exemplary of that type of qualities that we want to have in the jail system. So things go well. So thank you, sir.
Cole Matthew, how did we miss you? You should have been in that picture. That's okay. Well, okay. Well, no respect. Not to be respectful, I would have loved you in the picture. Thank you.
Okay. The oral communications, I think.
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body, not to any individual council member. During oral communications, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies as a body shall have the discretion at the close of oral communications to refer any remarks to the city manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Pat Donaldson?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Patricia Donaldson, President and CEO of the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. Our announcement is this Thursday at the Courtyard Marriott. We're having our St. Patrick's Day mixer from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., and there'll be a ton of food. There'll be a $100 door prize and a $50 door prize and some other things. So I hope that all of you can make it, and some of the police officers can make it, the captains, and some of you city council, and we hope that everyone comes. And we'll see you on this Thursday across the street. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else wishing to address the city council? If not, oh, there we are, I know. Those last words are what get people to jump up and run. That's why I do it. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Never been on camera. Give me a chance. Give me a shot. Okay. Hello, my name is Geneva Pennell. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Born November 16, 1990. Raised all the way from Dallas, East Texas, California to Utah. I am 34 years old. Scorpio is my sign. I'm sweet with a hint of salt. I've seen, heard, also felt all kinds of things, from grief to incarceration to mental health hospitals to homelessness. My purpose for today is to encourage each and every last person here or watching at home. I do not know y'all, but I'm willing to put my pride to the side and shed love and light on this damaged place called the US of A. I salute each and every fallen soldier or any current service member. So much, actually too much, bloodshed and tears have been shed all over, even out of the world, simply from confusion and miscommunication. Too much ego in the world. When we, as humans, no matter the race or orientations, we need to ball together only so we all can eat and be frugal and smart with our abundance of funds. If you're poor or rich, maybe even middle class, we all bleed the same color. I love everyone, including people that don't like me. Sorry, y'all. Okay.
So that's okay. Take your time.
Okay, sorry. For who I am, I like to describe myself as a soldier that is and will forever be triumphant towards any battle or tribulation. No matter the obstacle or level of depression, everything will be all right. Long as you keep faith and remain consistent and sincere in everything that you do. I would love to inspire the mentally ill on tonight. I know how it is, trust me. I can vouch for every single person I've hurt behind my words. Starting at 17, started my battle with mental illness due to the tragic loss of my dear father, who tragically expired in a fatal car wreck near Dallas, Texas. I believe he was only 38 when he expired, to be with the Lord in heaven. God needed you more, Daddy. I miss you so much.
Ma'am, thank you. Your time is up.
Sorry, y'all.
Thank
I got
you.
a lot. I got like 4 pages. Sorry. I'll be
Thank you.
prepared next time.
Thank you.
Or you could pass it off to your neighbor right there. He could read the rest of it. All right. Is that what you want to do?
Actually, not to pass off to read what she spoke, but I do have a testimony now.
Just come up to you can express yourself up here. That's what oral communication is. It's usually on things we have on the agenda, but you can say anything you need to do.
Excuse me. I wanted to actually give a commendable salute to Hawthorne. It was one of the first cities I lived in when I came here homeless from Chicago. In transition, I was able to work. I was also under mental illness at Augusta Huckins. Actually, you're looking at a gentleman who has 3 mental disorders and is functioning very well with them without medication. The one thing I wanted to address was that I work for IRI, Integrative Resources Institute, and we help people with special needs get jobs. We help them keep them. We're located in the northern part of LA, but I've also heard from my bosses and from the director, they've been kind of struggling to get to the middle LA area and the southern LA area. I do have a flyer for our program, and the reason why we're putting it out there is because just like the gentleman has jobs for them at the airport, we have many of those who may need our services that desire independence and that are willing to work and that are willing to be a part of society without the stigmatization of them of them having special needs, in which I choose not to use the phrase of special needs. I used to call them anomalies, because there are things that we cannot understand or that we can't medically really put a pinpoint on, because it's unpredictable of their walk. People on the spectrum are very much they do need support. And that's the reason why I was speaking on that, because I noticed that you are a city council here, and that program could be very, very useful here for those with special needs here. I'm sure there's a lot. I just wanted to be able to give my compliments to you all, because I've never heard the Lord being represented in any legal form or faction of any city form from all my days in Chicago. And I'd like to thank you all for actually acknowledging him first and putting our government second, which I think is something that we need to bring back into our political aspects of our formations of courts, schools, work for that faction. Because right now, from what I understand, for the original foundation of this country, the United States of America, from my forefathers, it was founded under Christian principle and under Christian law from 1609. I don't know where we lost it, but I like the fact that you all are reincorporating it and bringing it back into our life. In God we trust. So I just wanted to state that, leave that there for you all. Thank you very much for having me praise the podium.
Thank you, sir, for coming, you and your friend, expressing yourself, and thank you for your support as well. If you have the flyer, if you could give it to our staff member, sir. Okay? Next, please.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, friends and neighbors. I have two things for you. One is kind of an oddball. I would like to know what we can do if there is a tree on someone else's property that overhangs where we live, and the tree sheds these. The thing that's really a problem about them is these seed pods, and I'm going to pass this up here because it doesn't look like it's a big deal, but these things are hard as concrete. And when they land on the ground, they land on the bottom, and there's a sharp poking piece that comes up from the top. If you happen to step on it, especially in dark at the parking lot, it embeds in the bottom of your shoes. You take a step forward, your shoe rolls, and you can fall or damage your ankle. Again, this is not on our property, it's on an adjacent property. And the other problem with this particular tree is that it is overgrowing the electrical lines. And with the storms that we've been having recently and the high winds, I'm really afraid it's gonna bring the lines down and cause a fire. Not sure who to take this to, but if I can pass this over and you can pass this around, I'd appreciate it so you can see it. And then the other thing that I wanted to ask about is I noticed item 22 tonight deals with Section 8 vouchers. And I know we've had a question in the past that we have not had an answer to, and I'd appreciate an update. I would like to know if Hawthorne is yet enrolled in working with the HUD-VASH vouchers for veterans who require tenant-based vouchers so that they can live in rental units here in Hawthorne with the subsidized HUD-VASH vouchers. Those are the two things I wanted to bring up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anybody else who's wishing to speak? Oh, and Mr. City Attorney or the Public Works Director, under my, sir, Mr. City Attorney, either you or the Public Works Director, under my items, in reports, selected reports, if you could answer that about, what we can do to cut the trees. Or I would like to know if you could just give me, I'll be asking that.
Good evening. My name is Carla. I actually live in Hawthorne, the north side. We had our parking lines added to our street about 2-3 weeks ago, and we received a letter saying that there was research done in order to see if it was something that would help our community. And unfortunately, we have lost parking. There's certain sections of the street that we used to be able to fit 5 cars in. Now we can only fit 4. There's other sections that have no markings that were for 2 cars, and now 1 car just parks there in the middle. So I'm wondering what we can do to remedy that, because there's always a problem with parking. That's why things have been done to try to fix it, but it's made it worse. So I don't know if there's somebody I can talk to or somebody that can go out to the neighborhoods and check. I live on the 3700 block of 118th Street in Hawthorne, right off of Doty, and like I said, it was done about 2 weeks ago. And just on our block, we've lost probably about 6 parking spaces. Also, we have vehicles that are parked with trailers attached that are taking up parking spaces. So I don't know if that's legal or not, but I do have pictures that I've taken that I can leave with you. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to be speaking about that a little bit later. There's an item on the agenda that addresses that. We're going to study that. And actually, you give me some good ideas on enforcement today. So there's not going to be a lot, there's going to be some unhappy people out there after I speak later on. I don't know if it'll affect you. I hope not. No, pero thank you. I think.
That way, that's the only way that we can really add parking on our block.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your baby is so cute.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Oral communication is closed. So ordered. The minutes, please. Approval of the minutes. City clerk's consent calendar.
Okay.
That's. Sorry, I'm not trying to do your job.
You want to do the minutes first? Okay.
You just approach it.
Mr. Mayor, I have 6 items on the consent calendar. There are items 5 through 10 for your consideration and approval. I will take item 5 last, and the votes will be taken separately. Item 6, approval of waiver of full readings of resolutions and ordinances on Tuesday, March 11, 2025's agenda. Item 7, city treasurer request approval of the warrants. Item 8, resolution 8511, a resolution of the city council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving amendment number 1 to the joint exercise of powers agreement for the Hawthorne Public Financing Authority. Item 9, resolution number 8512, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving a consultant agreement for citywide parking study with Kimley Horn and Associates. Item 10, resolution number 8513, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving the second amendment to the city manager employment agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Vontre Norris for adoption.
To the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
If I could pull 10 in a separate vote, please.
Ms. City Clerk, weren't you like saying that was going to be pulled? Or was
It was
something
item
else?
5 that we're taking separately. We can do item 10 as well.
5 and 10 separate? I make a motion on all items except 5 and 10.
I'll second.
I made the motion. She made the second.
Please vote.
Let's vote.
City clerk minutes.
Your vote?
For item
vote.
5, right?
No,
Vote.
all items except item 5
Oh,
and
got
10.
it, got it.
Can we
Understood.
take up 5 first?
No, she's
It's items 6 through 9 that we're
5 and
voting
10
on
are
right
pulled,
now.
so we're doing the others first.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead,
thought
thank
we
you,
voted.
sorry.
The votes are in.
Thank you, I apologize.
The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes on items 6 through 9.
All right.
Oh, okay, yes. Thank you. Item 5, discussion. Go ahead.
For item 5, before you act on it, I just want to remind council that if you were not present for the meeting of December 12, 2023, or January 9th of 2024, January 23rd or 2024, you need to abstain from voting. This is approving the minutes of those meetings.
It didn't show up on my sheet here.
Let me look at my crystal ball and see if I remember that far. Yeah,
Wait a minute.
look at the years.
So, for instance, for all 3 minutes, Councilmember Johnson will abstain.
We need to do something about this. This is-
Gladly.
No, we just need to catch up. We need to get this done, and we just need to. If we need help in the city clerk's, if we need clear direction for our staff, if they're not getting it, then we just need to do that. Okay.
So I move on 5.
Second.
And additional help, man. Whatever you guys need, you guys let us know.
Oh, sorry.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes, with Councilmember Faye Johnson abstaining from item number 5.
Okay. Item 10.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to, express my gratitude that this item is back before us. I know there was, it was somehow tabled, but I'm glad it's before us. And I just wanted to acknowledge those that worked on it, and wanted to ask if there was anyone here that wanted to speak on it. But if not, if you want to entertain a motion.
Yeah, well, before that, we have to read something, right, Mr. Kim?
Government code requires the legislative body to read off the essential terms of a agreement with the executive officer, that's for the city manager.
Okay. So in that note, so I want to say thank you for the mayor to appoint me as the negotiator with Mr. Vantre Norris. It was a very productive conversation and negotiation, and I hope all of you receive my summary of it to give you an idea of what we discussed and we agree upon. 10% increase to the city manager's salary to take effect immediately and annually thereafter. Increase of $650 per month of deferred compensation. Extension of the agreement to December 12, 2030. Increase of severance pay from 6 months to 12 months, severance pay. Longitude pay for 5% at 5 years anniversary of appointment as a city manager. So those are the 5 points that we agree, and to amend his contract. And I have to say that it's good for us to have stability. So have a contract extended until 2030 is a good for the city. And Mr. Vaughn have demonstrated an outstanding leadership, and our city is growing, and he have, the staff are happy, and all of us are happy with him, so he deserves even better than this one.
We'll talk after. Councilor Montero, thank you for accepting the task of negotiating with our city manager, Vantre Norris. If you make a motion, I'll second that.
I made a motion to amend the contract as written.
So, I think everybody wants to second it up here, so it sounds like, but I'll second it. So let's vote. And I'll say a few words after.
The votes are in.
Ah,
Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes on item 10.
but guys, why is this so important for our city? It's very important for our city that we have continuity in the city manager's office, that we have like the historical knowledge to be able to make decisions in the future. Vantre Norris, our city manager, has worked in other areas of the city, so he knows the different sectors. So when he comes into the city manager's office, he knows how things are working, and he's hands-on. He's reaching out to the different department heads, to staff, and very personable. He's a diplomat. That's one thing I really like about him. And he bends over backwards to try to make things happen. And the best thing that I like about it is when he tells me, no, we can't do it. And I've told you guys why, because the thing is, he's protecting the city. We need somebody to safeguard our city, to protect us. And he's not afraid of doing that. So when somebody can say no, well, I remember my parents said, you know what, you can't go out. Why? Because we love you. No, because why? Because we love you. Well, they're trying to protect us, right, from getting hurt out there and all this. So I kind of find a similar type of thing with our city manager. And I think those days of our cycling out city managers on a whim for political reasons, to make the life of our city managers and staff, terrible, just a bad experience. Those days are gone, at least under my watch, and I see very awesome people up here on our city council that don't think like that. And in the past, these things did occur in our city, and so we need the stability. And so I'm looking forward to the next 46 years. Let's go.
To the chair. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Councilmember Montero, for taking the lead on behalf of the council and the mayor to negotiate. But to you, Vaughn, in the last 4 years that you've been of service to the council and to the mayor and just guiding us and directing us, I think we kind of both learned at the very early onset of, when you were first appointed, being a community director in the community sector, you had a lot of engagement already that helped us along in programs and services and things like this that benefited the community at large. And I just love the fact that you have that always on the your thoughts are of the community and how Hawthorne could do better. And some of the things that you've come up, truly, I could say, just because of the years of service that we've had on the council, that you are the best, in my opinion, city manager that we've had. And I can't stress enough that it's teamwork and it's with use of discretion as well. And I know there's oftentimes some, 5 different minds coming to you. And, you have to really tread lightly in a sense to kind of appease everyone. But you've done that, and you've done that with grace. And I love the fact that you have a great relationship with our chief, the police department, the HPOA, and those groups in our city that look to you as a leader to assure that what they need is guided as well and is negotiated. And so with that, I think you're a great manager across the board to all of our city departments. And I think our city department back there know that you're going to have them for a few more years. And I look forward to the 2028 Olympics, and I look forward to other things that are coming that I'm sure that our city's going to engage in, so that we could have eyes on Hawthorne and making Hawthorne a great destination for those types of sports and entertainment that's coming to the region. So thank you so much for your work, Vaughn, and congratulations.
To the chair. Okay. So first, I want to take my hat off to you because you are an amazing city manager. I also, secondly, want to thank your wife for allowing you to work like so many hours. She is to be commended, and I appreciate her for allowing you to be available to us 24/7. I do thank you so much, Vaughn, because when I first got elected, you welcomed me with open arms, and you are very diplomatic, and you have that energy and that attitude that we're going to get it done no matter what. Let me figure it out. And I love how you just never say, no, it's not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. You're always, let's figure it out. Let's see how we can make it happen. And I do know that it could be overwhelming sometimes and challenging having to appease all of us up here. And we all have different visions sometimes, and we all want what we want at that moment. And so it's just like having a bunch of kids and you trying to figure out, oh my God, which one gonna act up today? So so I'm glad to hear that the mayor knows you keep him in check whenever he acts up, because, well, you the oldest, right? You the oldest child, right? So we're Faye and I, we're the babies over here. So anyway, I appreciate your hard work. I appreciate how you put staff first. There's been many a times when you say, I'm going to make sure that my staff is taken care of. And you're willing to put other people's need before your own. And I really, truly appreciate that. And I hope that the staff understands that as well, that you do stand up for them, no matter if it means that you got to look bad or you have to deal with whatever it is, that you're going to always be there for your staff. You're going to always be there to protect. And I know for a fact, I've only been on the council for a short time, but I know what Angie say, you are the best city manager that this city have ever had. And I appreciate that because I get to say that I walk with you, the best city manager ever. I had an opportunity to serve under your leadership, and I appreciate your hard work. And I'm always Team Vaughn. Thanks.
The chair. Once again, Hawthorne's first. I love it. You have the same mindset that I have, and you want to make Hawthorne number one. And I know that you're doing that. And I appreciate you a lot, because being new, sometimes, I don't know what to ask. and you'll politely say, well, maybe you might want to think about asking this, or, however. And you do such a great job and very diplomatic. You're not calling me an idiot because I don't know what I'm supposed to be asking. You're very diplomatic about it, and you make me feel good. You make me feel like you're on my side and you want to see my success. But in reality, it's not just my success, because when we look good up here, when you guys make us look good, it's really for the city. It's not to make us look good, but when you guys are doing good and you're happy and you get the things, I'm all about put money in my pocket. If you appreciate me, put money in my pocket. A parking spot and a corner office status type stuff does not put food on the table. You got to put money in people's pockets. And so I just want you to know that I appreciate you very much, and I value our relationship moving forward, and I'll be picking your brain a lot, so thank you.
One more quick thing, and then I just thinking about some of the things my colleagues said. So ditto on everything that my colleagues have said. I don't know if you guys know this, but Vaughn is born and raised in Hawthorne. He's a Hawthorne native. Let's give it up for him on that one. But
around the corner from my
house. What's it? Holly Park. Holly Park. Yay, Holly Park. Right. But what that means is that he's personally invested in the success of the city where he was raised. He's not like, he doesn't have to go like to Palm Springs or whatever and just work here during the weekend. He's from Hawthorne. He knows, he's walked these streets. He's driven these streets. He's played in these baseball fields and all that. So that's why what he has demonstrated is how, and I mentioned it, he's the protector of the arcs of the city, the coffers, because he doesn't want to see his city fail. It's his city, our city. And so that's why when he tells us and advises us on things like that we can't do this or we can do that, etc. I know you said like he'll find a way, but at the ultimate, if he needs to tell us that we can't do that because it's going to hurt us in this way, the long term, we listen to him, or we should listen to him, because he's the one that's going to have to balance out the budget after if we make bad mistakes. So I'm also saying we need to support Vaughn when he, it's sometimes, of course, he doesn't want to tell us, hey, no, we can't do that, because he's like, oh, God, they're going to get on my case or something. But let's take that. I want to be the one that says it, that we need to be very mindful on decisions that we make. We've been very successful lately because we kept everything up in order here, but because we've had Vaughn, navigate those things. And at the same time, I welcome you to be more vocal with us, even if you have to, just so we could keep protecting what we have up here. I know it might be a little bit harder with some of these people right next to me, but I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure you could always tell us, and you're a diplomat, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you. I'm kind of getting emotional because I haven't been praised like this ever. So thank you. One thing I can promise, if you enjoyed Act 1, Act 2 will be better. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I always step up to a challenge. I have a great team behind me, great city attorney, and I think that we're making the mark to be very successful. I've been a straight shooter, as you all know, and I think we're at the cusp of being great or greater, and I see it. And I think, with the stability of this contract, knowing that hopefully I can end my career here, I think we're going to do great things together. I appreciate the leadership that you have allowed me to implement in the city, the changes, and trusting that. With that being said, I look forward to the challenge, and I look forward to our success together. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys all know that Vaughn is a champion, because I saw him at the community service when he was just a director. Even I was not a council member, so we worked together in the community, deliver service to the community. So I saw his quality. So when we needed a city manager, a stable one, I fought for Vaughn to become a city manager. And until this day, I have to say, thanks God that was a wise decision. So what I ask my colleagues, don't micromanage him. Let him do his job because he's outstanding city manager and he knows what he's doing. So don't micromanage him. Let him do his job because I think, like he said, he has a team behind him. And when he shine, we all of us shine, right? So that's what, because they are the pillar of this city. And so, and for us, it's like we come and get all the crowns, but they the one who do the work every day. So please, allow him to do his job, and I think he has demonstrated that he's doing very well. So on that note, I said, Vaughn, continue to do that, and I would love to see you retire in 2050.
I said 46 years left, man, but you said we're trying to, that's not fair. No.
To the chair. To the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Just one more thing, Vaughn. You're a prime example of what I tell people. Bring value to the table, and you will be rewarded for that value. And I know when I was looking for a job when I got out of the military, I didn't care if I emptied garbage cans. I'd come in and do your maintenance because I know once I get in the door, you're going to see what I have to offer. And you're a prime example of that because you go from parks and recs all the way to managing the entire city. And my hat's off to you, and you're a good example of what our community is about, and a good example to young people in the community that if you bring value to the table, you're going to get rewarded.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Let's move on to the next item. I make a motion that the air conditioning be turned on.
Please.
I was wondering,
Do I have a second?
what was happening.
All right. Unanimous. Whoa! That was burning, man.
Thank you.
That's one way of getting our attention, right?
I know. All right, so we, item 11? 11?
You wanna close the-
Mr. Mayor, you need to close the council meeting and open the parking authority.
But like, where are we at? Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right, miss. At this time, I'll recess the city council meeting and call to order the parking authority with all members present. Madam Secretary, the resolution, please.
Item 11, Resolution Number 74, a resolution of the Parking Authority of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving Amendment Number 1 to the Joint Exercise of Powers Agreement for the Hawthorne Public Financing Authority. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the Board of Directors adopt Resolution 74.
I move.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving item number 11.
If not, if there anything further? If not, I will adjourn the parking authority and call to order the successor agency with all members present. Madam Secretary, the resolution, please.
Item number 12, resolution number 2025-01, a resolution of the successor agency to the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Hawthorne, authorizing the issuance and sale by the successor agency of tax allocation refunding bonds and taking related actions. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the Board of Directors of the successor agency to the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Hawthorne adopt resolution number 2025-01, authorizing the issuance and sale by the successor agency of tax allocation refunding bonds and taking related actions for adoption.
I move.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects chairman and agency members voting yes.
Okay, wonderful. Item 13.
Item 13, resolution number 2025-02, a resolution of the Board of Directors of Successor Agency to the City of Hawthorne approving amendment number 1 to the Joint Exercise of Powers Agreement for the Hawthorne Public Financing Authority. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the Board of Directors adopt resolution number 2025-02 for adoption.
I move.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. Voting reflects chairman and agency members voting yes.
If there's nothing further, I will adjourn the successor agency and call back to order the regular city council meeting with all members present. We'll proceed with We have one ordinance, right? Or do we have two?
One.
Okay. Item 14, please.
Item 14, ordinance number 2255, second reading, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, amending section 12.31.010, deposit of bulky waste on sidewalks, streets, or public right-of-way of Chapter 12.31, bulky waste on sidewalks or streets, to Title 12, streets and sidewalks of the Hawthorne Municipal Code, and making a finding of exemption and compliance with CEQA in connection therewith. Recommended motion, introduce ordinance number 2255 on February 25, 2025, and adopt ordinance number 2255 on March 11, 2025.
I move.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council members voting yes.
We have a bid opening. Could you proceed with that?
Item number 15, now is the time and place to declare publicly received sealed bids for project number 2509 Hawthorne Police Department Roof Replacement Project. There were 10 bids received. All were accompanied by bidder's bond. The prices are as follows. Commercial Roofing Systems Incorporated of Arcadia, $1,113,000, $546. Estate Design and Construction of Los Angeles, $430,253.07. AME Builders Incorporated, DBA AME Roofing of Upland, $927,800. Roof Construction Chambers Incorporated of Escondido, $933,250. Chapman Coast Roof Company Incorporated of Fullerton, $879,663. Courtney Incorporated of Irvine, $1,123,337. FC and Sons Roofing Incorporated of Bell Gardens, $1,139,500. CI Services Incorporated of Anaheim, $960,039. Lettner Roofing Company, $1,037,000. Best Contracting Services Incorporated of Gardena, $1,054,459.
I make a motion to refer these bids to staff for study and recommendation.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Item 14. No, wait, am I off? Jesus, I didn't turn the page. Sorry about that. We have the city manager's consent calendar. Could you proceed in reading for the city manager, please?
Item number 16, progress payment number 1 in the amount of $780,491.54 due to PCN3 Incorporated of Los Alamitos, California, for City of Hawthorne Senior Center Project number 2403. Item number 17, progress payment number 4 in the amount of $1,455,394.05 due to Sequel Contractors Incorporated of Santa Fe Springs, California, for 120th Street Improvement, Crenshaw Boulevard to Felton Ave, Phase 2, project number 2103. Item 18, grant of easement to Southern California Edison Company to develop an additional electrical supply system needed for the City Hall expansion and underground parking structure. Item 19, agreement between the City of Hawthorne and DTA to perform a development impact fee study. Item 20, review of the mid-year financial report for fiscal year 2024-2025. Item 21, First Amendment to the Consultant Agreement for Design Services. First Amendment between the City of Hawthorne City and Reina Alomar Architect Incorporated, DBA RADA Consultant. Item 22, Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program Award of Special Administrative Fee Funding for Small Area Fair Market Rents Implementation. Item 23, the Hawthorne Commercial Facade Program funded by the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 16 through 23?
I'm going to pull item 20 for presentation, and I make a motion on all other items.
I'll second.
Please vote, guys.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council approving these items.
Go ahead, Felice, please.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna go get something.
Good evening, Mayor, Pro Tem, and Council. Thank you for this opportunity to bring you the mid-year financial report. Okay, as we do every year, we show you where we are in terms of fund balance. In 2018, we were at $14 million. That balance has grown through December of 2024 to $86.7 million. Okay. The original adopted budget for fiscal year 24-25 expenditures were about 110 million. Revenues were at 112 million. With the proposed mid-year appropriation changes, the expenditures would increase to 111.5 million and revenues would go to 112.3 million. One item that I do want to point out in the mid-year appropriation changes is the request for $500,000 in city property management program to continue with the renovations on the city properties. Okay, operating revenues increased by 2.57%. So although the economy has slowed over the past year, we did see a slight increase, and that's about $844,000 compared to last year. The most significant increases and decreases in revenue were in investment earnings. We went from 1.1 million to 2.2 million, so a 96% increase in investment earnings. Business license tax decreased by 72% for this time in the fiscal year, from 2 million to 566,000. Franchise tax reduced by 27%, and sales tax a combined decrease of 4%. Okay, and this, I don't know if you can see everything, but these are the tax revenues that are over $1 million at mid-year or have been over $1 million in the past. So we have property tax. It increased from $3,078,000 to $3,524,000. Sales tax, the add-on, which is Measure HH, went from 4.9 million to 4.8 million. Sales tax, which is our Bradley Burns, went from 7.5 million to 7.1 million. TOT, or transient lodging taxes, went from 2.5 million to 2.4 million. Business license tax, again, went from 2 million to 566,000. Utility users tax went from almost 3.5 million to 4.4 million. And refuse franchise fees decreased slightly from 2.1 million to 1.7. Okay, these are non-tax revenues compared to prior years. Program contributions remain the same, 650,000. Other revenues, let me just give you a few of what those are. So other revenues are the contribution from water, contribution from refuse, contributions from RCC for IT services, reimbursements for receiverships, miscellaneous revenue, so quite a few different items there. So that fluctuates. 2 years ago, it was 1.8 million. Last year, it was 1.1, and this year we're at 1.6. So just depending on which items we're reimbursed for, that's the fluctuation. Current service charges went from 1.5 million to 2.1 million this fiscal year. Revenue from investment earnings went from 1.1 to 2.1. Fines and forfeitures went from 852,000 to 756. And licenses and permits increased from 748,000 to 997,000. Okay. All right, and this is our favorite slide, which is our sales tax. It doesn't look as nice as it has in the past. Over the last year, again, we've seen a decrease in sales tax revenues. Overall for both is a 4% decrease. A lot of that is because of the uncertainty that we have in the economy. The tariffs that are being discussed could cause additional inflation. So we may be seeing more interest rate increases rather than rate cuts. And this uncertainty will affect our sales tax the way it currently is. We've seen reductions in sale of autos, new and used vehicles. We've seen reduction in consumer goods and services in the county tax pool. But we've also seen that there are increases in other areas, so that has kind of balanced us out, even though we see a reduction of 5% in Bradley Burns and 2% in the Measure HH. Overall, the other areas have kept us from having too much of a decrease in sales tax.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Ms. Phyllis, before you move on, can you explain why the business license tax decreased from 2 million to $500,000 in a sense?
We can have Ms. Chantel Dixon give you a little bit of information on that.
Good evening. So, business license have, since the period of fiscal year 2023, 2024, that began our effort of collecting on delinquent business license taxes. So, as far as smaller ones go, we collected a lot of those, but in essence, there was a big account that was about 5 years behind that we collected on that yielded us 1.2 million. So we didn't have that this year, but we still are, progressing with our collections or what have you. So we're on track as forecasted to make our revenues as of 8 million, but that was a big win for us in the year 2023, 2024. So that big dip that you see, it actually was just that we've been pursuing our delinquent taxes.
So we can see this number fluctuating then.
Yeah, it's usually probably around the 500, but like I said, we had the 1.2, and then we had smaller ones a little bit between 50 and 100,000. So I would say that was probably about 1.4 million that was added to it. That was a big boon for us.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, Phil.
Okay. Okay, so
Felice,
just...
can I jump in really quick? Ms. Dixon, so are we still actively looking at accounts that are negative or delinquent, or do we have accounts still pending where there's a possibility that we can achieve a spike in collected revenue that hasn't been paid to the city?
There definitely is. So we actually hired a new person, and she is aggressively going after accounts that are even behind, say, our usual renewal period, which is about 4 months. After that, we will be sending notices out, and if they aren't renewed at that point, then we will be sending them to collections. And so collections will become a part of something that's actually more collectible. We have not been able to do that due to low staff, but we're on the track to see even more of the collections and businesses paying their delinquent taxes.
All right, no other questions? All right, so again, just to mention what we've mentioned in the past, that although sometimes we do see a drop in our sales tax because we have a diverse sales tax base, the city has not run into trouble because of that stable and diverse economic base. All right, and now we'll move into our expenditures. As of December 31st, we are at 9.44%, an increase from the previous year. Some of those increases are in salaries and benefits due to MOUs and unfunded liability. Maintenance and operations due to continued ARPA expenditures, and that was the American Rescue Plan Act programs that were implemented, and also in operating transfers because there's an additional bond payment and reserve allocations. So again, there were increases across all categories, and we are at about 47% of the approved budget that's been spent. And
so everything below 50% is good, right?
everything below 50% is good because that's what we expect. Yeah, anything that's above that, then we just kind of keep an eye on. But normally, we know why those are above the 50%. So there's a couple of contracts, like the fire contract, RCC contract for 911 operations. We are billed a quarter before that, so there's always going to be that higher percentage at the mid-year.
But at least it's 46.9%. So.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
To the chair. Thank you. So looking at the bottom where you talk about as of December 31st, 2024, cash balance was, or should we say is?
Was. So that was our balance at December, so almost 87 million. As of January 31st, we're at 96.8 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just to go over this section, our required cash balance for this fiscal year based on the budgeted expenditures is almost 27.5 million. And that changes every year based on what the expenditures are, and that's 25% of the budget.
Can I have a question maybe for, I don't know, maybe Felice, I don't know, maybe different departments. My question has to do with some of the projects that we have in the pipeline, and the three major ones that I'm talking about is City Hall, the new City Hall, the Public Works Yard, and the Senior Center. I know that we have already made allocations for potential expenditures for those developments, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious because of all the, as you made mention earlier, tariffs and things that are coming down in the pipelines and uncertainties, we've already had to make some, say, adjustments to other departments, right? For funding sources that might not be there or probably just need to be careful because we don't know where we might put ourselves in, and we might have to reimburse something or pay something back, or et cetera. So, how are we managing that, Vaughn, with regards to the three projects? I mean, there's a lot of equipment, materials, things that are needed. Maybe from other countries, maybe from other states. However, when you're talking about a development as big as the City Hall project, these are just some things that I'm concerned about. Because, say, for instance. Say there's a proposed change order due to cost, right? I know we're not, able to look at the crystal ball and predict, but those are some concerns I have, seeing some potential hurdles that we're not seeing right now and hurting us for additional monies for some projects.
Absolutely. I have spoken to staff, Felice, and our Public Works Director, Akbar Faroki, regarding this matter. So we have contingent plans in place. We're planning to go to RFP for many of these projects to lock in the price. Akbar can help me with this, but I think once the price is agreed upon, we have 12 to 18 months with that price to be guaranteed. Obviously, we have to be very stringent and strict with the change orders. Felice and I have worked on savings from different departments this year to allocate for the new projects that we have. So it is a concern, but I think that we're prepared to deal with those concerns. And if we have to scale back some of our smaller projects to get the larger projects done, we will do that.
Thank you. I appreciate the forward thinking, and you guys are already on it. So thank you so much.
All right. And then we do want to recommend several transfers to reserve funds as we did last year. So about a year ago, there was a resolution that was approved by council, which included a fund balance policy. The fund balance provides cash flow and liquidity for the city's general operations. But maintaining adequate emergency reserves is another way to demonstrate financial discipline. So we are recommending that we set aside for economic uncertainty, pension stabilization, capital improvement, $1.5 million each, and then for ITS hardware replacement, $1 million. And these we feel are crucial in light of the economy, that we set aside these funds for future need if there should arise that need. And that is my presentation. If you have any other additional questions.
Yeah, thank you. Real quick, Mayor. Thank you, Felice, for your presentation. I want to hone in again on the IT portion of this. I mean, I can't express how important IT is to all of us here at City Hall and just the community at large. You know, there's a lot of fraud happening. There's a lot of, hidden things that we're not aware of. And our personal information is very important, just as city information is very important. You know, we need to secure as much as we can in the new tech world. AI is taking off, and I know that our IT department is on it and is looking for additional staff, and I've made mention of this previously. If there's anything that we could do to assist Josh and his department, I know that I had given him some recommendations for additional AI support, including, potentially doing something AI in the city clerk's office, but I do believe they have something new there. But all tech is important for me, Josh, and I appreciate all the programs and things that you're implementing and securing to keep our city in the new world, if you will. So thank you for including that in making some adjustments to the IT department. However, I support all the other departments as well. Thank you.
And if I could mention one more thing regarding IT services, all of our audits now consist of a question that relates to what IT and what the city are doing to make sure that we are not having any issues with, anyone trying to take private information. So we do need to make sure that that's on track.
Call that the ransom thing? The cyber? Yeah, no.
Are we good, folks?
Thank you.
Let's make a motion to accept.
Yes, I'll second.
Please vote.
Votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council approving item 20.
Thank you to all the people who put in the hard work to be able to do this, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. This is very important. We're the envy of a lot of cities. I mean, some of these fancy cities you hear about, they have like budget deficits, man. They just, it's like,
Hawthorne's
it's just a
number
shell.
one.
Yeah, no, seriously, they really look at us. Yeah. Okay. So what's up? The city attorney's consent calendar, right?
Item 24, claim for monetary damages by Kansas Farm and Ranch Incorporated. Recommended motion. Staff recommends that the city council deny the claim by Kansas Farm and Ranch Incorporated. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city attorney's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve item 24?
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council approving item 24.
Wonderful. Okay, so now we're at the discussion action items, man. We're here. Woohoo! All right. Item 25. Councilwoman Johnson.
Thank you. Last time around, we asked that we be put on the discussion action items for trash bins and dumpsters being left out on the sidewalk or located in the front of the property, blocking walkways and things like that. I spoke with the city attorney Robert, and he informed me that the current ordinance that this falls under is under nuisance. So there's not a whole lot that we can do, as it is a nuisance. It's not supposed to be done. But for the community, we want to see something done. We want it to stop, and if it doesn't stop, we want to be able to have some meat and potatoes behind that stop or else. And so I'm asking that an ordinance, it be removed out from underneath a nuisance and create an ordinance of its own.
If I may, I would recommend that we keep that in it's one of the code violations under nuisance, but add a separate ordinance as a violation itself, if the majority of the council approves.
Why is that recommended? Can you the construct of that, can you explain a little bit more, please?
So under our public nuisance laws, there are a series of codes that, if violated, they could cumulatively constitute a public nuisance. This happens to be one of them. Under 8.20.030, subsection A16, among list of all the ordinance that would constitute a public nuisance, this happens to be leaving out your trash bins too long or not putting it in the proper place, can be one of the factors of public nuisance. So for instance, if we were to go after a property owner for various violations, this could be one of the code violations that could be added. We don't have a separate ordinance that makes this per se a violation of the code. So we can, if council so desires by majority vote, then the city attorney can come back with a proposed ordinance for introduction as a separate violation.
I'm willing to support this, and the reason I want to, and actually, thank you for bringing it up. I know that Councilwoman Reyes English and myself, we've been focused on this topic, but thank you for the initiative on this one. Thank you. And sometimes we have this whole thing where, hey, you know what? I want to enforce this. Go after it. But we can't enforce it because we don't have anything in the books to be able to do that, and our hands are tied. So this actually helps giving us that. The ability to go ahead and remedy stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
To the chair, thank you, Mayor. I would like to have an educational component to it, okay, versus it just be immediate. I think there needs to be language included, which is bilingual Spanish, English, to notify the community if this is something that we're going to do. If there's going to be a fine included, I would like that to be mentioned, that there's going to be a fine. Another thing is I'd like to know how you're going to track, how are we going to track bins that are left out and don't have an address on it? Whose is it, right? So how are we going to enforce that? So I want realistic measures put in place. I don't want to be, well, we could have thought of that, done that. It has to be something that's streamlined very carefully, because, the community doesn't like already some of the things we've done with regards to address parking, which is, it hits the pocket. So here we are, looking at potential fines for, leaving out your trash bins, whatever else. So I really like for staff to circle around some of the concerns I made mention. Again, this is something that we've been talking about. It's just something very difficult too, because when you talk about nuisances, City Attorney, we have code enforcement. I mean, I think they're already inundated with enforcement, if you will. However, how are we going to do that? How are we going to enforce? And how long is that going to take on any one person making the enforcement, let alone the connection from that bin to that house, and then having an engagement or a discussion where it's not theirs, right? So those are some of my concerns.
And another issue that should be considered is after how many days the bins are left out on the street, would that become a violation? Because otherwise you may have squabbling neighbors just falsely calling code enforcement and accusing each other because it was left out one day. I mean, that would be kind of unreasonable. So these are the specifics that we should think about in giving the direction to me to bring up an ordinance.
Any comments? Since you brought it up.
There's another possibility, if we don't want to move forward with the change here, is to ask Councilwoman Reyes English mentioned, to do an educational program to see how many cans are being left out after trash day, and to do research before we implement anything to be able to create the narrative that's going to achieve what we want to achieve. As Councilmember mentioned, if code enforcement is tasked to do this, something's not going to get done. So with their day-to-day activities they're doing now, if they put full energy into this item, something's not going to be complete on the back end. So I would ask for consideration for that as we make a change to the ordinance.
To the chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to make a comment. I know that my mother-in-law is older, and my husband has to go every week to take her trash out. And so the fact that she's older or senior citizens, they may not be able to take the trash in, take the trash out right away. And so you also need to consider that as well. Folks come by, like I said, my husband go by every week to take the trash out, the trash bin out, and then take it back in. And so he don't necessarily do it the exact same day that they pick up the trash. He tries to go by there at least the next day to do it. So that is just a comment I wanted to make.
One of the things that okay. Look, what ends up happening is that these I have a lot to say about I don't really have a lot to say about the parking stalls. I mean, you know, but some people put these in the middle of the street, or they leave them there so that people won't park. You know, it's like it's their permanent storage of a location inside the T parkings, and then when it's time to come from home, they move it up, put it on the sidewalk, and then they just park. So it's just like a place-saving thing. And then they come at you. I've heard this before. Actually, there was one gentleman who came up here and kept saying, hey, they keep moving my trash cans. And he was very upset. You know, and said, no, that's my... And that's the way he used to block anybody from parking there. I want you guys to remember. So, I mean, I think we need to do whatever we need to do to figure out how this is going to work, because it's something worth implementing sooner than later. But yeah, hold on real quick. So whatever you need to do, just do it rapidly so that we can put this into effect. So I just want you guys to realize, not us trying to like give, whatever you call it, like fines, just that there's a reason why it's happening. And it's not like, hey, you know what? Hey, you didn't pick it up for a day. Hey, you're off for the weekend, and your trash got collected, and you just haven't picked it up. And because Republic put it there, sometimes they don't put it up on the sidewalk. So I'm pretty sure we can have a talk with Republic too, right? To make every effort to put the stuff up on the where it's supposed to go too, so it doesn't cause problems, misunderstandings.
They don't put it up on the sidewalk.
Sometimes
they don't put it.
They grab it, they do that, and sometimes it ends up on the sidewalks because of them.
Yeah. Through the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was going to recommend maybe work with the Republic Service, because they put the newsletters out sometime with the bill, and it goes with the trash bill, right? So it's to put a note there to encourage people to take their trash bin into the wherever they want to put it, in the garage, or because like the townhomes, they have a location where the trash bins are. Maybe give the Republic that part that we want to do education, is to send that newsletter to emphasize, do not leave your trash bin on the sidewalk, all day or for 8 hours or 12 hours, whatever, and just to see how they're going to receive that, maybe, and then maybe we can do. I'm thinking about do a little study and send the drones. Use the drones to
drone training.
Okay, because we in nowadays we have to be innovative and creative, right? So and then to see who's the perpetrators, because I don't think there's a lot of people out there, because I drive the city constantly and I don't see too many bands, but there is a few people that live those bands at least for overnight. They stay there for 24 hours sometimes. So maybe that we should do like a little study, send that warning through the public service, through the newsletter that they send with the bill. And then I would say, if we want to surveilling the city, maybe we dedicate a drone for trash. Because it could get the people that is leaving those bulk items on the street, and also who's leaving their trash out or the bins out. So maybe that's something to think about.
To the chair. Okay. One thing is how do we currently enforce our ordinances? Do we give them warnings? Do we give them? Is it immediate? Does it depend?
So it depends. The first staff member that would have discretion with that would be the code enforcement officers. I have told them years ago that most of the code enforcement should be administrative citation first, which means a warning, a notice first, and then administrative citation, and that fine would go up based on the number of times that they would have to come back and cite them. On the extreme situations, then they could be prosecuted as a misdemeanor case. For instance, the bulk items that's being discarded at the alleyways. Those are things that I have exercised my discretion as a city attorney to prosecute as a misdemeanor when a contractor is purposely and intentionally discarding the bulk items from their work in the public right-of-way. But for typically most code violations are administrative citation first. They don't go directly to criminal filing because these code violations are actually strict liability crime, and there could be, nobody wants to be prosecuted in a criminal court over leaving trash bins out too long or something like that. So, and that's not. It's really, if we go to court with that, and I used to do code enforcement in court, and the judge himself or herself will look at it very negatively. So it's not something that we want to rush into unless it's pretty serious situation.
Okay. And I also, like where I live, Republic will leave the trash cans in my driveway. So literally I have to get out of my car first and put my trash cans away. But I find that where I'm seeing the biggest issue and my constituents are seeing the biggest issue is these apartment complexes. Like I said last time, Republic put out blue trash cans to apartment complexes where there are 10 units and you have one blue trash can. That blue trash can stays on the street all week long. All week. It doesn't move, and it's used for any kind of trash. And I see that up and down the street where I live and in other neighborhoods in our area. So it might be something, it might not be happening in a single family resident type neighborhood, but it is definitely happening in the apartment complexes because who's responsible for it? Nobody's taking responsibility, but they put it out there. I'd rather it not even be out there, so maybe it's something we can talk to Republic about. Why did they give them a green and a blue trash can in addition to the dumpster when they're not using it? They use it for garbage.
And I take it that is not ordinary size blue trash bins. That it's the larger size, correct?
Nope.
It's ordinary
same
size.
Same size as mine. And it does not budge other than overflowing with garbage.
So usually when we're enacting a new law such as this, it's better to be more specific. So if we're targeting let's say apartment complex owners that are violating these problems, then we may want to narrow it down to that if we're going to make it an ordinance. If it's a study, then we may want to just focus on that issue instead of just generally overall to the city residents, because I have probably trash was picked up this morning, and it won't be taken in until late tonight. So, sometimes people just.
And I agree with that. It may not be an issue in a single family resident neighborhood, but it's definitely an issue in some of these apartment complex areas. And like I said, the issue may be they shouldn't have those trash cans because the dumpsters don't stay out because Republic comes in, he gets the dumpsters, empties them, puts them back. It's those green and blue trash cans that they, over the last year, started putting out in apartment complexes, I guess.
So
To the chair.
Those are the state mandate.
Right.
They have to do that because
Oh.
of the 1383. They have to recycle the food. The food and the leaf have to go into those green bins, right?
don't.
So, and then the papers goes on the blue ones. So that is where I think the education part, people, especially the apartment buildings, they are not doing their jobs. Educating the tenants about that, and that is look. I live in a townhome area. I gave all the 34 owners the pamphlets. I put stickers on those bands to teach them how to recycle, how to put it right. But they continue to mix the trash with the food and with the cardboard. It boggles my mind. I want just to scream.
I got something to put it to rest right away with those apartment owners. I don't even think we need to do anything. If there's a problem with those and people aren't using them correctly, Republic has somebody that goes out and checks that how people are using their bins, and they will issue fines. They have one person that's, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
The one gal, do you know? It's like the shorter Latina lady.
Yes.
Kind of like she'll pretty burly. She'll knock you out if you don't put your stuff in the right bin up there. I'm telling you, man. So we do have that we do have that option. I think we should start employing. And you know what? Engaging her, she might be able to give us some insight as to how she could help us resolve this whole situation. We might be able to give her some easy pickings up and down 120th or 118th or wherever the areas of concern are.
Yeah, through the chair.
Or down York over here near Angie's house.
Well, let me tell you another thing that's going to happen. The cities is going to be penalized, and I think the law is going to be soon because they give a grace period. All the cities that are not doing recycle correctly, the state have said they're going to start sending penalties.
Even more of a reason
for cities to pay because they're not doing recycle correctly, right? So, and the other thing that I just was on a meeting, for example, the law for do not drive on the bus lane on the streets because they gave 6 months grace period. So now if they catch you driving on the bus lane, you're going to pay $600 ticket. Right? So those are the kind of things.
All right, let's
I'm
start
gonna wrap it up.
finishing this
I'm
up.
going to wrap it up. So, Robert, I'm a renter, right? And with regards to apartments having, these different bins, it's because it's state law, and that's what Republic was supposed to do. They came and gave us an education presentation. So if we're making changes, you got to get notified the apartment managers, right? The apartment managers. Those managers, and then in turn send out the message to all of its tenants. But it's an educational component. You have bins for recycling, which is your compost, and then you've got your recycled paper only, and these are the rules. But come on, nobody follows the rules, right? You have a bin, you throw all your stuff in there. That's pretty much what's going on. So to enforce something like this, you're going to have a challenge. It's neither here or there. But Councilmember or Mayor Pro Tem Manning, we need to address to the vulnerable community, right? Vulnerable community, which would be the handicapped, our seniors, those folks that are the most vulnerable. And the perfect example was what she just made mention, right? Our senior community. So all I'm saying is it's going to take a lot so that we could change the habit or, how things are done. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's not going to happen overnight.
Okay, we need to wrap this up. Mr. City Attorney, I can't believe you didn't say that this was like that we were veering off of the original item. You usually do. You usually do. You're like, you didn't throw the whip on this one, man.
It seems to be all related to
I want drone
trash
trainings.
cans.
I want
Because
drone
think
training.
People are putting their bins out there. It's not an issue of them
I want to
knowing
chase
what
down
to put
trash
in.
cans.
So yes, we have kind of went into different areas, and the problem with that is staff is not getting a clear directive here. So
Mr. City Manager,
yes,
with
if I
your
can
wisdom.
Yes. I'd like to provide a recommendation. It's just a recommendation. Allow me to work with the code enforcement department, work with Public Services. Give me 2 to 4 weeks to come back with a presentation to give data of what we viewed on the streets. We'll take a heavy look in North Hawthorne area, or the area that you live in. We'll do it by grids, and we can report back what we see, and then from there, council can give direction to myself and staff how to move forward.
To the chair. See, that's why you got a pay raise. But what we're focusing on is not so much green and recycle.
Understood.
It's keeping the trash
Absolutely.
cans off the street. And it's understandable that you can put them out the night before. They just have to be put up by the next morning. Or
And with
something
that
similar.
item we're going to bring back, we'll have data for trash days on a Tuesday. We'll provide on Wednesday how many cans are out on Thursday, and we can look at the data, and from there, we can make an action on how to move forward.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good? All right, thank you. Item 26.
Thank you, Mayor. So at our last council meeting, we talked about partnership. We talked about making sure that we are exposing our city and building partnerships. So in light of that, I am asking my council members to add Los Angeles Sparks to our approved list for events. They want to host a clinic, a 2-day clinic in the city of Hawthorne for our young female youth. It's a great opportunity for them to develop their skills and build confidence and gain experience with professional coaching. This will be free to all of the participants. And the cost that the city to rent out the space is $1,176. After they do this clinic, they're going to have 2 teams that will advance to a championship game on July 15th. On July 15th, at the Crypto Arena, they will play against each other to see who wins. Council will be invited, as well as staff, to attend this event, as well as we will get acknowledgement. The city of Hawthorne will get acknowledgement, and folks will know who the city of Hawthorne is on a big scale because, as you know, the crypto location is a very popular location, and the Sparks are very popular. And on top of that, they have a relationship with the Lakers. So I see it being a benefit to our city to have that partnership.
I'm going to go first. I'm going to just make it as quick as possible on my end. It's kind of like an injection that you're going to put in and you can't feel it later. Okay, so, Mr. City Attorney, is this something we can do as a council body? Are there anything legal reasons we couldn't do this?
No, I'm hearing Mayor Pro Tem Manning as asking to put it on our community event list. So it would just be added to.
Yeah, so that we can approve for them to have it over at the Memorial Center.
But the way this is
Which
listed,
means that the money, it's not a waiver you're asking for because
it's a
that,
waiver, no?
because that would be a stipend. If it's added on the community event list, then it would be stipend
Well,
from council members.
if I add it under committee event, could I use my stipends
Yes.
to cover the
Yes.
fee? Yes.
So that's it, just adding,
if you want that, that's
adding
fine.
it to the list of events.
Yeah. Yes, I know, yeah. I just thought it was something else.
For clarity,
Yeah,
if Mayor Pro Temp doesn't have enough funding to support this, will other council members donate to this cause? Because I see us bring this item back because the cost that was mentioned is 1,000. I don't think your allocation is to that amount. So
Well, I know, don't we get more money in July?
To the chair.
At the end, question be answered.
Yes.
Oh,
Depending
July
on the
1st.
budget
Okay,
approval,
this is-
I can't
oh.
predict what council is going to approve as far as the
Sure.
budget, but yes,
Okay.
that would be possible.
Is that solely what you're asking for to put on the list?
Yes, I'm asking for that, but then I guess I'll turn around and ask if anybody could donate, because I believe I only have $400 for.
To the chair, please.
One, and then next. Just go ahead.
Thank you. I'm looking at it as it is. It's requesting the council to waive the fees for use of the facility. If there needs to be an added second to that, would be make it moving forward as one of the organizations, nonprofits that is on our list for us to make contributions to. So I'm reading it as a waiver, and so I'm here today to say I would approve a waiver. And if we want to go that route for a waiver, and then anything else moving forward could be stipend.
Thank you.
And my only thing would be, Mayor Pro Tem, is to assure that the residents, youth of Hawthorne have priority with regards to registration, signups, and recruitment from Hawthorne.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
To the chair. What is the annual stipend?
Is it 3,000?
No, we changed it, didn't we?
What is it right now? What do
Well-
I have? I don't know what I have.
It's
It's
3,000.
3,000.
Ooh, I can make it rain.
Yes, 1177 if you like.
I have all my money left.
So,
Yeah, I got $2,700 to spend.
Okay,
so the direction,
I'll make the motion. I'll second the motion.
real quick, I'm going to support this, but.
is it, does it include the waiver or?
Yes, it does include the fee waiver.
Because it said waiver, yeah.
Okay, so.
Well,
the
there
council
wasn't a
vote.
second discussion. Okay, so I get to insert myself. I'm willing to support this time. I think we just need to be careful in the future because there's going to be, everybody hears that, they're going to be coming up.
Yes.
That's my fear.
Yeah.
Right.
But, okay, so as long as we're very conscious of that, I want to put it out there that, let's try to make this like sort of one-time thing.
Sure. That's why
Do you
the
understand what I'm
other,
saying?
that's why the other
Okay.
portion of it is so that I can use my stipend.
Yeah. Okay, just so that this isn't just like a line of people asking for stuff.
No, this is for the youth of Hawthorne.
So the waiver is just for the first year?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then to add to our approved list so that we can contribute our stipends if there's any future request.
Thank you for bringing them.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, you said.
Oh, and I have one more question to the city city attorney.
Yes.
Now, they said that we could go. Can all of us go to the game?
I,
Yes, we could go.
Don't
We
sit
know how
next
to,
to
we
each
know how to
other.
behave.
as
Yes, we could
long
go.
as you do not discuss city business
Okay.
and it's just exclusively for this purpose, that would be fine.
Okay.
Should be fine.
But would that be city business if they say, we're here supporting the city of Hawthorne, blah, 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 blah?
City business, meaning that you don't discuss
Okay.
city business items that you're
Okay.
going to vote on eventually.
Okay.
I wouldn't be sitting with them anyways.
Ran Pufa.
I mean, open the box seats, not just
Thank
kidding.
you. Okay, is there a motion, Katrina?
Yes, there is a
Consensus.
motion on the table to waive the first year, and then the second is to add them to the approved list so that we can contribute to
The youth of Hawthorne.
the youth of Hawthorne, to contribute to the youth of Hawthorne for our stipends.
Is there a consensus?
I'll make a second. There's
Okay.
a motion. I'll make a second.
Do we need to vote on this, Mr.
Can
City
I-
Attorney?
Yeah, so I think there's a consensus here.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to
I'm
vote.
just, okay, so that I understand, I thought there was no waiver. We don't waive it.
So the final discussion was waive the fees, that's $1,107 for just the first year. And then the following year after that, it'll be by stipend
Okay,
contribution.
are we setting a precedent by doing that?
Well, that was the concern, that's why we're limited to just first year.
That's why I mentioned it, that we
I-
all be very careful. This is kind of
Yeah.
a one-time thing, and we just don't entertain this stuff. Like-
I'd rather say no to the waiver and let's put up the money and stipend for it. We have it. Why set a precedent Because if we can waive it for them, why are we telling everybody else no that's going to show up and want a waiver?
So then it would be a vote, I guess, without the waiver. Yes.
I want to support it.
Through
I
the
want to
chair.
support
Okay.
it, but I don't want to set a.
Guys,
that
I'm
kind
gonna
of-
just break it. That's a discussion. Actually, no, this ends it right here. There's a motion and a second. A discussion should have been inserted before, so
No, I think
we're,
the discussion comes after, right?
no, when the motion and the second
Oh.
come into play, that's already a vote on the table to
Okay,
vote on
so-
whatever was presented.
Robert, I say take a vote.
Okay, let's take a vote. Then it would be based on the adding to the community event list and waiver of the fee for the first year.
Correct.
Correct.
With the
That was
councils
moved and
first
seconded.
being very careful for other people coming forward. It's just a one-time thing.
Yeah,
with the
this is a
organization.
one-time thing, which we've done in the past, one
But we
time.
try to avoid it because
Absolutely.
so many people are gonna come up.
Absolutely. But whether we do it today or not, it doesn't
So-
stop people from asking.
Okay, so I think we need to vote.
Okay,
I'm waiting for two.
We're doing a vote. Okay, go ahead.
we're doing a
Whatever
vote.
the city council's, it's already a motion, second.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving item 26 with Councilmember Faye Johnson abstaining.
Thank you.
Items 27.
You're welcome.
Thank
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Mayor. So I wanted to give a directive to the city manager if he could look for programs to increase the funding for the opportunity for our Facade program. I think it's really important that we invest in our businesses on the city, on Hawthorne Boulevard, or just in general in our city. I think it would make a big difference in people's morale, and then people that are driving through our city see our city of Hawthorne, and to have it uniform and be able to get that for free. I'm asking the city manager if he could look into that, whether it's state, local funding, wherever you can find some type of funding to increase the amount of money that we have in our Facade program. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah. That was a directive you were asking, just to
Yeah.
look into it
Yeah.
and then come back to council. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then come back to council.
Yeah, just to be aware, there was on item 23, there was an explanation about the facade program, because it was a great idea when we did it with the HAPA money. You remember the COVID money through the HUD, and the idea was, to revamp all Hawthorne, regarding, not just Hawthorne Boulevard, but all areas of Hawthorne, the facade improvement. But when I read this report, it seems that a lot of the business did not want to engage into the facade improvement program because of the guidelines that the federal government stipulate that they would have to do. Especially in a number of the employees, they would have to keep them for 12 months full-time. So, there's going to be a challenge because the facade money is ending on June 30th. So there's going to be $0 there. So we need to figure it out where the money is coming from, because there will be no more federal dollar for this program. And we know the CDBG and Home Fund is going to be decreased for 25, 26 because of the federal government, what they're doing. So I don't see where we can get money. And again, I don't want us to take money out of the general fund. So the only things that I would say, if there is any money from redevelop or develop fees, maybe that's to look in that. But I wouldn't say, because the program, a lot of people didn't want to participate in. So please read the report that is on our agenda, item 23. It explains how the program was not successful because of lack of participation. Okay? Thank you.
To the chair. So I understand that that was his experience, but that's not my experience, and I don't necessarily know if we talk to the same people. And I don't think that he's talked to every single business in the city of Hawthorne. And so for him to say the people that I've talked to and had a conversation don't want that program, I can't say that he can say that. So his experience has been different from my experience.
Through the
So-
chair, it's not my experience. So Vaughn, can you explain that, please? Because this report came from the
No,
from the housing.
you're absolutely right. What I can do as far as direction from Mayor Pro Temp is work with our grant writer company that we're using to see if there's any additional funds. And maybe those criterias might be different. If they are available, we'll try a different marketing approach. But you are right, Councilmember Montero, a lot of the businesses did not want to move forward with the items, the restrictions, but we can always give it a second go and see what funding's out there and market it to the community again.
Right. Or I can just give you the businesses that I spoke with personally that was interested in it, and told me, oh, I didn't even know you guys did something like that. So here's the thing. Again, what he experienced is different from what I experienced. So I would like for you
Absolutely.
to.
So we have to find the funding, so I'll actively look for funding that's available for this type of program, and we'll reach out to those
Right.
businesses
Thank
if we're
you.
successful for a solution.
So through the
Right.
chair, just to be clear, it was not my experience. This was a report made by the housing department with the blessing of the city manager that would put on the agenda on item 23 for us to read and to understand about the facade program. And let me tell you, even Councilwoman Faith Johnson and I was talking Saturday at the Islamic Center about facade improvement for Hawthorne Boulevard, you know, where the Hamas house is. So we agree that facade improvement is good. But what I'm saying is, based on the report that was established, because we put some money there, and we reach out to a lot of business, and then, believe it or not, this week, we're supposed to have a ribbon cutting for facade improvement on the Froston on Crenshaw and El Segundo. So, but like I said, there was some guidelines put by the federal government that our city would have to comply, and some of the business owners, some of them apply, but then after they find out about all these guidelines, they said, no, thank you, you can keep your money. But it's not my experience. I'm talking based on the report that was provided to us and based on what people have said out there. And for me, if we could find $1 billion to revamp all the facade, I would put it.
Councilwoman Angie Reyes English.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilmember Montero. So I'm looking again at the item, which is basically requesting for increased budget to the facade program. Since 2009, even further, 2005, the city has pushed hard to make improvements to its businesses, and these are the storefronts, to be more attractive looking, to have more character to the building, to the storefront, to engage the community for more patrons. And so this has been a program that has been going on for years. The only difference in Vaughn's leadership is that he actually contracted for outreach in the community to go out to the businesses, knock on doors, and let them know that we have a facade program. If they're interested, here's the application. This is how you could complete the form. So having said that, there's there's really uncertainty right now in its federal government and what's happening, right? We all know that. So we don't know whether or not it would be something with regards to, say, increasing the budget, because we don't know. But what we can push, and because you're doing your business expo, it's important to let the businesses know that we do in fact have a program that is a facade improvement program to their business, for them to look for that, to look at that, for future funding sources. But there's always opportunity for our businesses, and that's how come we have the Business Expo. That's how come we have Business Connect, so that we can connect businesses with the services that we are providing. So moving forward, I think Mayor Petrum already gave city managers some ideas of what she's pushing for. I support that because I've been pushing that for years too. And that goes across the board for all departments, Public Works, our housing department. We're always looking for money, and we have great grant writers that are very, very instrumental in getting us the funding that we need. So anything and everything's possible. So I would support it, although it's just a direction from what I look at. But that's a great idea. There's a couple of grant openings coming up to show their facade programs. One is the liquor store over on El Segundo and Crenshaw. That's going to have a facade improvement, and it's really greatly needed. If anybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, it's going to have a great facade improvement to the business, and it's probably going to be similar to what the buildings look like in the area. And then later on Hawthorne Boulevard, we're looking at Me California Restaurant getting a facade improvement program on behalf of the city. So lots of great things happening, and we're looking out for businesses, and that's what matters most. So thanks.
Through the chair.
Yeah, and then I got something.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I just wanted to say one more comment. Thank you to our grant writing team. I really, truly appreciate you guys because you guys bring us so much money for all of these projects that we're doing. And so I just haven't taken the time to actually say thank you. And I want to say thank you to our grant writing team. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I just want to let the community know and my colleagues know that sometimes we try things and we don't get it right completely the first time, and it's worth revisiting things to see how it works. Maybe we learned from some of our marketing. Maybe we learned that we weren't targeting the right groups, etc., and that the outreach was inappropriate. Maybe it's just, or maybe it ends up being what, what some of the members of our council suspect that people aren't taking because of the limitation. We can't ease those restrictions. It's money that's being given to benefit the city indirectly, but a business directly. So there's going to be regulations that and like things that people have to satisfy to be able to get that money. It's not sometimes for some groups it's harder than even just like it's harder to apply for it than just kind of operating as is, right? So I think it's worth revisiting and we should give it a shot. But if we find out quickly that it's not working out, then I just think that that'll be, two times is a good enough proof that something didn't work out. Or we can find out that it did, right? Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, so, oh, wow. This one's me. This one's mine.
Yes,
oh,
it's yours.
Oh my God, you guys are gonna jump on me. No, okay, so look, the 311 app. I think I started talking about this thing because there was residents who say, hey, you know what? I'm getting like play-by-play of what's going on the street, and like, hey, this car is parking here. And it's always happening, and this and that. There's this, people are racing their cars here and racing their cars there, or, this person doesn't pick up their trash. They have trash in their lawn, or they're doing this, they're doing that. So I end up having to call staff. I end up, through the city manager, because we're supposed to go through our city manager so that he could, assign the right people to look at stuff, right? And it just becomes tedious. And the thing is that things don't get addressed immediately. And that's why we have our 311 app. And every single one of us up here should be, I think we should be moving to promote that 311 app. And the last 2 or 3 people that had messaged me, and I put it into play, I ended up looking through my messenger because they contacted me through Facebook. I sent them the link to the 311 app. And at least 2 of them said, hey, I tried it, it works out, thank you, oh, this is awesome. And things get addressed immediately because, boom, they see something, it gets into the system, and the staff that's responsible for it will go address it. As opposed to me, when I get out of work, I'm going to send a message to city manager, and then city managers, when I get out of this meeting with Katrina or Angie, and then I'll say, I had to throw that in there, guys. I'm just kidding. But after I finish this big task, then I'll send a message. So what's that, like whole 24 hours, right? Oh, what are you going to say, something back at me?
Oh, no, I have
But-
something positive to say.
Okay, but so that's why I think we just need to be able to promote it. So we can do it as a council, but I have some items here that I was thinking about, and I think a lot of it's already being put into effect. Having a digital marketing and online presence is very important through our city website, making sure that this is a prominent feature. The 311 app is a prominent feature when people go up into their cityofhawthorne.gov org webpage, that they get to see it. Sign up for the 311 app. You know, your central location for all things Hawthorne that you need to get done. Social media. I mean, it's easy to pay for a campaign to get stuff out, like through Facebook, Instagram. Oh, I'm skipping Twitter, X, and moving on to LinkedIn. Or no, yeah, we could try Twitter or whatever. No, but get it on all the social media that people can get access to, so that they could, sign up. Emails, we got email lists. Remember, we always send emails out to everybody for different things. I mean, we should have something stored away somewhere where we could do that. The newsletter, every single thing, every single event that my council colleagues host. Promote the 311 app. Have banners there. 311 app with all
That's
the
a
things
great
that,
idea.
right? Have the banners right there. People, just those little tall ones. People will see that and they'll like, oh, what's this? You probably get 20, 30 people like signing up right there. And then the neighborhood associations if we have to make extra banners like that on the poles that hang, so that they can have it at their events on the Juneteenth, the North Hawthorne picnic, the Holly Glen, summer picnic over there, whatever they have, all those things that we could put them out there, or even, we can take them, put them on there. The Ramona's, whatever, all the great events that Ramona does with the QR code. Thank you, sir. Oh, wow. Contribution from Mr. Rob right there. The local businesses. See, you see how there's all that web that we have right there? Press releases, through, Republic's mailings that they have, the utility bills that that we have, billboards out on the street. I mean, this is going to help us out a lot, and everybody up here has been a proponent for the launch. We have like a grand opening. We just have a big old party talking about 311 app or something, and we give away stuff, to the community, get them all excited. But they qualify maybe for a gift card or something, prizes, if they sign up. Right? That's the key. Recognition programs, the QR codes that you talked about, and making sure that we have the advertisements for 311 app in a very prominent locations when they come into the city buildings. And I'm a big proponent for this. I know you want to say something, but I'm going to ask our city manager something right after that. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to ask you if we could get a 311 banner for the Business Expo. And then also, I just wanted to share with you all that last week I attended Career Day at Hawthorne at Hawthorne Middle School. And during that time, when I was giving my presentation, I told them if they saw graffiti around or whatever they saw, for them to contact the 311 app. So I told them at that, so I thought that was very positive. I said, make sure you guys download the app and call 311 if you walk in the school or you're going home. So I thought I'd share that with you.
Promote, thank you. No, that's good. You just keep doing it. Come up with however many ideas you can. But thank you. But Mr. City Manager, we talked about this about 3, maybe even up to 4 weeks ago. We talked and we went over this list of things that I had for you. Can you tell me, do you have any of these already kind of start planning,
I
or
think
what's going
this
on?
item deserves a full presentation, a prepared presentation. I don't think I just should run off on what we've done. I think we should do a robust update to the city council and give me the time to actually put those items together. But yes, we did cover most of those items that were suggested, but I think a presentation from staff that's in charge of to present the data, the amount of upticks that we received as far as 311 app, and the end result of the service that were provided to the community.
But you got a lot of these already primed up,
Oh,
right? And
absolutely.
that's
Only thing that
that's
we,
the part I wanna
only thing we
celebrate.
don't have are the banners, so that's something new that we can work on. But QR codes, marketing at events, social media, those things have been taken care
Like
of.
a banner that we could have at her,
That's something we have not done.
so nice banner thought of, like easy to see benefits, 1, 2, 3.
And I can use that at all 3 of my events.
Would you like me to move forward with a presentation at the next council meeting?
Absolutely, I think
Okay,
that's good.
noted.
I think this is reason, that's why we have you as a city manager, man. You just take care of it. Yeah.
To the chair.
Yes, miss.
I foresee this going a step further, as I've said before, and I believe that staff agreed with me, is if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And
It's okay.
Are you okay?
and the 311 app, all that data is in the system. If we can start pulling that data, we can start seeing trends and different things that are going on in the area, i.e. graffiti, like I've said before. If you see that there is an increase in graffiti in a certain area, gang graffiti especially, not just somebody tagging something, then that could alert the police that in fact we are seeing a gang issue moving into this area. So we need the data, not just because it helps the residents get a faster response. Because one, if you use the 311 app, and Kyle, this is good for you too, because you could have used the 311 app and you would have already gotten a response back about the tree that's in your yard. So the 311 app not only gives you an email back giving you actual proof that you submitted something, but now it's not a phone call that was left on a voicemail somewhere that somebody can say, well, I didn't get it. Or you stepped into the office and spoke to somebody when they're busy as all get out in between 3 or 4 different meetings with a deadline that they got to get to in 5 minutes, and they tell you, walk and talk with me. So it's too many opportunities when there's too much human involvement in this process. It's so much easier just to use the 311 app. Not only does that give you proof, it's not forgotten, you know it's going to get taken care of, and we, the city, have data. And again, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And I think this is a tool lost that we're not using to be able to better manage what's going on in our city.
Councilwoman, I want to, personally, if you guys would be okay, I just would like to talk to our staff, Josh, and maybe delve into this issue of data collecting. I mean, I come from a tech background or whatever, so it'd be good to just see what's available, what we truly can get. On our end, we've talked about it separate times amongst each other, so I like to just see realistically what we can get and what we can implement, just so that we have the proper expectations and not more that, that we might think that it's going to give us. Josh, would you be open to that?
To the chair.
If I'm allowed?
To the chair, we have talked about that in my orientation when I went through it, and this is the vision of the city anyway. I'm just putting it out there so people understand it's not, it does work.
Yeah. And if you're okay, I would like to maybe talk and just, hey, hey, man, can you throw this in the presentation?
Oh, yeah,
and throw
absolutely.
And cover this, cover that, make sure, just.
I can take that direction, Mayor.
You'll do it? I'll talk to you. Well,
yes.
I have to go through you because yeah, I understand. See,
No,
I
it's
was
okay,
veering off.
but
I was veering
Josh
off.
is not going to present the information, so if
You
you
would,
could.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to you
Okay.
and I'll kind of just tell you, hey, this is what, or if you could tell me what, what does it look like on the back end so that we can know what kind of stuff we can pump out.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Potential too,
Okay.
Through the chair.
Noted.
if we build it out.
Let me make another suggestion for the 311 promotion, because since we have a machine now that create all these logos and the street signs, right? So what about create that 311 a sticker that we can put in all our city cars, like the
stickers.
public works cars.
311.
Right? So then it will be, because that's what advertisement does, right? So driving, people pay attention. So, like, how they put advertise on those Uber and Lyft. So maybe we can put a stickers on the city cars, especially the public works. And the
What we
code
can do.
enforcement, all of them.
What we could do for the presentation in 2 weeks, maybe you might need more time. We'll create some renderings of different applications to put on our city vehicles for approval. Okay.
That's exciting, man. That's really exciting. We just need to take it there. We talk about it, but you know, we come up with some ideas, and staff is like taking the initiative of already covering a lot of stuff. So we're good, man. We're good. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Vaughn, staff. All right, let's get to this. Let's get through this. It's already 8:42, and you know.
Want to go to closed session?
Yeah. Can we do the elected official reports and just kind of breeze through that? Miss, what do you got? Anything?
This is from our city clerk, Dana Williams Hunter, in her absence. I'm going to read her message verbatim. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Councilwoman Johnson, Reyes English, Mayor Pro Tem Manning, and Councilmember Montero for your generous donations, which were instrumental in making the Black History Month event a reality. A special thank you to Mayor Vargas, council members, and City Attorney Robert Kim, City Manager Von Norris, Chief Tomatani, and everyone who attended. Having most members of my council family present truly meant a lot. I also want to express my deep appreciation for my internal team, Dana, Myra, Joy, aka the Dream Team, who consistently rise to the occasion. A special shout out to myself for my outstanding management of communications leading up to the event, and to Councilmember Montero, who was the glue keeping everything organized and on track. It's always a pleasure working with you. Thank you to the city managers team, Brianna, Catherine, and Patty, for your invaluable assistance with proclamations and logistics. Finally, a huge thank you to Eric and the cable team for your remarkable work in capturing the event through photos and videos. They were executed flawlessly. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilwoman Faye Johnson.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Sergeant Jerome for bringing the special needs stickers for us for our residents. And thank you, Jan, with the South Bay Web, and getting to know him and what he offers in his organization. Congratulations to Paulo, our jailer, for earning the Good Neighbor Award. And I'd like to thank Geneva and her friend for sharing their story this evening and potential networking with their organization that he works for. And Kyle, thank you for bringing up the HUD-VASH again. I'm not sure if we have HUD-VASH in our organization. Okay. Vaughn, is it possible to do some research on that? I can help because I work with the VA, and that HUD-VASH chit comes out of the VA. If it's something we can do, I don't know. But I'd like to at least look at it, if that's possible.
Absolutely, we can look at it together.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. And then, Carla, we hear you about the parking lines and it reducing your parking spaces. Hopefully, we can address those issues with our parking study. And Vaughn, once again, well-deserved pay raise. We appreciate you. And thank you for putting that subscribe button on the webpage. As soon as we pull up that webpage, that thing pops right in your face. I like that. So you have to actually click out of it in order to get around it. So you can't say you don't know about the newsletter. And thank you, Felice, for all your hard work with the budget and what you present in our committee and here today. I appreciate you. And then just a quick reminder to everybody, we're doing our little mini taste of Hawthorne prior to our next council meeting. So bring your taste buds and come out and meet and greet our businesses. And potentially our council will be there for those that have the time to. But get to know our businesses, get to know what's out there, what they have to offer, and get a little free food in your belly. Thank you, guys.
That was Austin Powers, huh? All right, Council Member Alex Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for attending the meeting and also listening us at home. First, I want to say congratulations again to Vaughn. It was a nice conversation between me and you and the men, so you deserve. Thank you to all the head departments for everything they do for us. Again, Good Neighbor Award. I want to say thank you to our Attica and Paul for bringing us another Good Neighbor Award. Sergeant Jerome, I have to say, my head goes off to him because the idea was all his about this sticker. So I'm glad that we're going to adopt citywide special needs sticker. Of course, Jen Vogels always have good things to say. So he's a good guy, and he's been providing a lot of vital service to our community. So thank you for that. And for Felice, thank you for the media presentation. And I just want to caution my colleagues not to be spending money that we don't have, because we see that the economy is going sour. We saw that our sales tax is down 4%. And the forecast is the consumer is going to not spending money like they used to. So we have to be very careful, because right now we have a surplus, but that surplus can turn into negative in a light and day. So be careful about spending money. We need to do it smart way. Again, I've been fighting for business for all my life, even this morning. Actually, this afternoon, Vaughn and I have lunch with the Connected Federal Credit Union. We're going to do workshop for small business, to help them out there. So I'm always looking for business. And the facade improvement actually was an idea that was established a long time ago through the fund that we used to have from the CDBG, from the Home Fund, and then came the HAPA Fund. And then now the money's going away, and so we need to figure it out how we're going to do it. Like I said, to me, if I would have $1 billion, I would do all the facade improvement without restrictions, without guidelines from the federal government. But it's a reality, right? Now we got DOGE watch over us. So, and I said, you have to be careful, because there is a word recession on the news. And then you see how the stock market, a lot of people have lost money, like 401ks, terrible. So be very careful out there about spending money. And I attend the Clean Power Alliance meeting. So go to their website, cleanpoweralliance.org. They have a rebate there. If you buy an air conditioner at Home Depot or Lowe's, you can get $300 back. So go to that cleanpoweralliance.org. The South Bay COG, the 16 cities, we've been discussing about the Measure A fund that's going to generate about almost $1 billion from the sales tax that we passed in November. Now, the County of Los Angeles is doing something that is unethical, okay? Apparently, from this $1 billion, they want to give 87 cities only about $96 million, but their overhead costs, administration, they're putting $100 million.
Salaries, right?
So think about it. For South Bay COG, all the 16 cities, if you divide that 96 million, we probably will get like $2 million to do homeless program. But it's our sales tax. We vote to increase our tax. So now they want to put $100 million into administration costs and only give us 96 million for 87 cities, because LA County is a different category. So there is a fight going on at the LA County, and we have sent letters out on behalf of all the South Bay COG, all the 87 cities, saying, please give us more money, because we're the one who's going to take the homeless off the street. So keep eye on that. Measure 8, when the Board of Supervisors are going to vote, go downtown and voice your voice, okay? Because it's to me, it's a stealing. Again, just be aware that next week, Thursday, the 20th at 3 o'clock, we're going to celebrate Pablo Caetano's life. So be there at the Betty Ann's Ward classroom from 3 to 5 p.m. and we'll have some light refreshment, okay? And also, Councilwoman Faye Johnson and I attend the Ramadan Interfaith Community Dinner last Saturday. So it was well attended, It was, a lot of people were there, so it was good. And that's it for now. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Councilwoman Angie Reyes English.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to try and be quick. I just want to acknowledge the hard work that our staff has done to bring, again, our spring event, Earth Day and Service Provider Fair. Service Provider Fair has been going on for 17 years. And again, thank you, Vaughn, and thank you all department staff for your help with that. We did have two separate events at that time, but we combined them together. So that's going to be Saturday, April 12th from 10 to 2. We're going to have DJs. We're going to have bikes, raffles. It's going to be a great event again this year. What's that? Oh, we're going to have gas cards. Yeah, everybody wants gas, right? Or to plug in somewhere. Thank you again for the facade program. If you're not aware, there is the Crenshaw Village that received the facade program, and it's Friday, March 14th at 9 a.m. It's a grand opening. If you could do that, Friday, March 14th at 9 a.m. I'm going to try my best to be there, but that's one of the businesses that received funding for a facade program. Our community cleanup, Saturday, March 15th. Thank you to Public Works Department and all those that are assisting. We do need volunteers, and usually those are students, so get the word out to our students so they could get credit for potential, assistance with scholarships for college. 2025 Autism Awareness Walk. I know Councilmember Montero brought this to us last year. This year it's going to be Saturday, April 26th from 10 to 1 p.m. at Eucalyptus Park. Again, providing volunteers is needed, and there's phone numbers here. I believe we're going to, make sure to put these flyers wherever we can in public places, including the library, the police department, and the lobby. So we could get the word out. Channel 22 is good about getting that out too. I don't want to be redundant, but real quick, just, let's see. Thank you for the special needs event, and that was Sergeant Jerome that came in, and thank him again for his efforts to engage the city council and the city to make such an effort. So thank you. I'm showing the decal here on my desk, and that's a really great idea. I really love that. South Bay WIB, Jan Vogel, thank you so much for, again, coming and providing us some numbers to reference exactly how many homeless individuals received jobs and received housing, actual permanent housing. I'd like Vaughn at some point to bring them back as the board presented us in their departments for recognition from the council through resolution or certificate of recognition, please. I also would like to thank the testimony that came from that. That was a wonderful testimony. Let's see. Felice, thank you for the financial presentation. We appreciate you greatly. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of numbers, and I'm glad that you provided that for us to look at. Some of the numbers are, really trending up, but if you notice too, we're lacking in business, right? And there's various reasons for that. So we're going to circle back and take a look at that and see how we could help bring those numbers back. Erica, HR, thank you so much for the Employee Good Neighbor Award. Our jailer, Mr. Apollo, thank you so much for that, and for the police presence that was here to support that. Thank you so much. Let's see. We're always, we've done really good with CDBG and all these funds that you talked about, Councilmember Montero, and can't express enough that we hope that none of these get cuts. But, again, it's really hard, and it's going to be even harder for our seniors and for those looking for housing, especially Section 8 and those that rely on that. So really heartbreaking. However, it's potential that we have homeless go up. So just an FYI on that. The Chamber, thank you, Pat Donaldson, for letting us know of your upcoming St. Patrick Thursday at the Marriott. To the public comment with regards to mental health needs, and it is common, even more common today, addressing mental health, behavioral health, and these things that it's not going away. So again, our city is very instrumental in assisting those, and as you can see just from presentations from Autism Walk to special needs to mental health, and we are here to support efforts to provide assistance, to provide wraparound services, and any type of services to assist those that are in need. That's what we should be doing. I also just want to, again, commend staff and everybody for all the hard work. You're doing amazing work. I can't say enough. And in finishing, I just want to, give again my condolences to former Councilmember Pablo Catano's family. And I thank you, Councilmember Montero, for recognizing that and knowing that he should have a public, I should say, support on the 20th from 3 to 5. So I thank you for that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, but I just want to acknowledge the work that you've done to, let his family know that we're thinking of them, and it's worthy that we should recognize a former council member colleague here on the council. And then just great work, Councilmember Manning, with regards to some of the things that you brought today. And I really look forward to hearing from staff on how we're going to address the community notification, education on bends and things that are left out. It's not a pretty sight, but at the same time, we're going to have to do a lot of education on that. But thank you, that should do it. And congratulations, Vaughn. And thank you, Robert, for telling us when we need to behave and we could attend an event. The reason I say this is because I know how important it is. There is, Brown Act Brown Act violations that we don't want to violate. And so we could participate at events, we just can't discuss city business. And so that's just to be transparent with all of you. We're there for an event, and that's what we should be discussing, is that event at that time and nothing else. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Mayor. In the essence of time, I'm going to go real quick. So I'm going to do a one for all. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for tonight. I also echo everything everyone else said. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is I had an opportunity to attend Hawthorne Middle School Career Day. It was so much fun. Really enjoyed it. I've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years. The other thing I'm going to mention is I had an opportunity to attend Links Youth Fair that was held actually today at the Memorial Center. Thank you all for coming. Good night.
Damn, that was good. I'm going to have to top that. Yeah, right. No, okay, so look, thank you guys. Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. City Manager. We really appreciate you. And we really got to be able to treat our employees correctly, and that includes the pay because, hey, if you'd see what, he's in the pack with other city managers, getting what he deserves. I actually think I'm willing to give him some more, but that'll be a separate conversation. We're here. We got him for 46 more years, and I'm happy with that, man. I'm just happy with that. I was really happy, okay, because you're not going to get bullshit from this council. We're not going to be playing stupid games. Some of those people that used to give you a hard time are gone, and we're in good shape. Thank you, sir. I want to send, oh God, this is not city council related, but it is. I want to send my godson, Sebastian, happy belated birthday. I still owe him his present, and I'm going to try to get over to him. And I think there's interest on his birthday gift. So happy birthday, Sebastian. I'm going to be seeing you soon, okay? You're right. I think the discussion that we've been having up here, if you kind of pay attention, I know we're here. Well, we bring something up before the council, and say, oh man, this person's questioning what I'm putting out there, and oh my God, what's going? But we need to be critical. We need to be critical so that we can make sure that we cover all our bases, because sometimes there's certain things that we might not have thought of that maybe somebody else on the council would think of and be able to, maybe highlight some things that we didn't consider before. That includes myself. So not everything that I bring up is going to be, just kind of already packaged and ready to go. There might be some things that we need to, do some refinement to some things that I present. So I think it's good. I think it's beneficial, and I think we should all be open to it up here. Why is that people not looking at me when I'm talking? say that. Okay. I agree fully with my council colleague, Alex Montero. Spending money, we need to be very careful. Okay, we just need to. Things are not the best. Things. We hope that that situation doesn't get bad recession-wise, but we just need to be very careful. And we've done such a great job with what what we've done with our money. So we're open to maybe opening up things a little bit here for us to be able to benefit the community, but that's doesn't mean that we have to go through like huge productions to be able to get things done. So let's see how we can economize and still get the results that we want, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I really think that the notification period for code enforcement, I think we need to just eliminate. I thought we said that we have difficulty, and how are we gonna track this? How are we gonna track that? How's code enforcement gonna track this and that? Well, if you give them a 30-day notice, you gotta get this stuff clean, you gotta get this car off of this lawn, you gotta mow your lawn, you gotta get that like awning out of your driveway, you gotta, you have dilapidated like gate over here and it's a nuisance. You got trees that are over here and you got to take care of it in 30 days. What's going to happen? You got that creates more work for our code enforcement so that they come back and check. So I'm more in favor of having an immediate citations, so for immediate like effects. I want to start talking about that type of level of enforcement. People know better. We're not in a third world country. We're not in other parts like, I don't want to name cities, but other cities who don't care. All you got to do is drive down El Segundo Boulevard into county territory and you see what happens over there. Or all you got to do is go up here, and there's a lot of great people up here, but you just go up Inglewood Avenue and, all this crazy stuff happens over here. So I think we just need to do what other cities do to be able to get the results that we want. Our housing prices are out of the roof, and we need to make sure that our living here reflects that. Okay, and Mr. City Attorney, you're key to that, man. So just don't worry, we'll back you up. You need to give us the pathway to be able to do this. All right, no more like I need to get something. Okay, you have my full support. Mr. City Attorney, could you just write, can we have I'll just talk to you offline maybe, and then we could, I don't want to ask for you to do it as a thing, but I just need the pathway for that. Parking issues, I am so happy that the lady showed us these pictures so she could show us what they're talking about. This is also something I think we need to enforce. Yeah, you got some people that are parking their business trucks with trailers in the streets when it's a residential streets. They shouldn't be doing that. I think those are citations waiting to happen immediately. There's no 30-day type of crap for that. Get your stuff out, or you're gonna get a citation. It's gonna cost you. Get it out. I mean, I see another one. These are different pictures, right? Then you have oversized trucks in a sedan spaces. That space was not meant for an oversized truck. It was meant for a sedan. If you're going to have a truck, park it in your in your driveway, or park it in the back of, roll it into the back and pile up all the cars one behind the other. Don't have it on the street. Don't cry to me later that it didn't fit and I got a citation. You know what I'm saying? So I think people need to respect that. We've been we're a rental community, but you have households, particularly some of these apartments, that have multiple families there, and each family has multiple cars. So you just start exponentially counting that, and those are the people that are parking in the streets, because people who live in houses or duplexes have their spaces inside a park. Mr. Rob sees that. So, and then there's the added thing where those apartment building owners or whoever the heck, they're charging them for the parking. They're adding that as a charge, so these guys can make more money. So we got to take a look at that too. But I think we need to, with the city attorney's support and his know-how, we're going to find out how we're going to be able to enforce these things and make experiences for the young lady that came up here more amenable for her and for everybody. Okay. No more BS. We're gonna take care of this. All right. So we covered everything. So you guys should just go home. When we come out, we're just gonna make decision. We're just gonna vote stuff in, and there's nothing to see after this. So you guys could make your way home. All right. It's true, right? I'm kind of hungry. We have 2 closed sessions tonight. Madam Clerk, the first one, please.
Conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, California Government Code Section 54956.9 D1, name of case, Martha Gonzalez versus City of Hawthorne et al., LASC case number 24TRCV01773.
And Mr. Mayor, may we excuse the city clerk because I could read off the last agenda when we get to it.
Oh, really? Okay, that sounds like a great idea. Now, of course, you don't have to be here because you'd be, I don't know. Are we good? Okay, this council is adjourned for a conference pursuant to the agenda. We are in recess at 9:08.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The city council met in closed session, and the report was provided and direction was given.
Okay, we're going to recess the meeting once more at 9:20 for another conference pursuant to the agenda. We're in recess. With Councilmember Montero present and myself, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The city council met in closed session and a report was provided.
Okay, is there anything further from staff or council member colleagues? If not, I declare the meeting closed at 9:42. So ordered.